Amazing. Yes, welcome to the Radio Don Freeman show. Via Don.
Yeah, here, I'll pretend to be Don. Welcome to the American Freeman show. Yeah.
he sometimes talks like that.
Take 45 minutes.
Yeah. He sometimes talks 100 miles an hour in the first 5 minutes of the show, and then we cover everything like 10 minutes. It's like, oh, great planning there.
Yeah. I don't know. Sometimes being a Freeman on the land means taking a nap and just playing William Cooper.
Yeah. You got anything planned for today, show-wise?
Well, I've got my copy of Judaism Discovered.
Yeah, let's just start. Did you read those comments in the consent chat box? That's about what I had time to look at. I just thought it was funny.
CIA?
Jesus killed 1 million Iraqis for oil. Okay.
I don't remember any religious authority. Although, what do you call Bush?
Yeah.
He's a skull and bones authority.
Yeah, it's this guy Tim009. He's obviously like a legend in his own mind on the Conspiracy Central shout box, and he's like he blahs on for a bit, and then he goes, "So what do we do? Who do we side with? Maybe it's time to jump on board. Accept that possibility in caps that the rulers and creators of Western civilization are on the right track." Oh, he's adding to it as I speak, or at least trying. Started 8 years ago, I began to feel as though the government or other organisation was directing voices into my head. I studied all of the material. I obsessed over trying to find answers. It's quite dramatic,
and
really.
then the voice said, "Buy Coca-Cola," and he realised he was being scammed by a Coke machine.
Yeah, buy Kool-Aid, buy Kool-Aid.
Right, don't drink Kool-Aid.
Along with disbelief and diagnosis from the psychiatric profession. I think he's bullshitting by this point, you see, when I'm reading it. I received ridicule from the majority of the alternative media followers. Well, who are you, Mr. Big Shot? Tim009, oh yeah, of course. Well known. I'm sure that you're best friends with the Queen. Oh, that's Tim009!
If you look up a little higher, he lists everybody as a freak. Everybody who believes anything on the continent is a freak.
I know.
He's the only normal one there is.
Yeah, kill, rape, torture, deal dope, and if you're rich, felt wrong. You might end up President of the United States. Yeah, it's just like
you have to have sex with a goat.
Yeah.
And then they say, "Hey, would you like to be president?"
A bunch of self-congratulating morons, which is most of the Conspiracy Central, which is stupid because it's got like tens of thousands of people in it. Wherever.
In all the time I've been on Conspiracy Central, I've never written a forum post. I don't write in the shout box. This is just useless to me. I don't do that.
I wrote letters to government agencies and wound up locked in a psychiatric institution. See, I'm really thinking that he's quoting from somebody else, but he isn't saying who, which really annoys me. I fought the shit to the detriment of my health. Yeah, so you had constipation.
Well, yeah, you fought it.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. Prunes! I won't eat them, no!
Too much pain.
Yeah. Dying of Winnett syndrome. It wasn't until I gave up the fight that I finally began to find peace. Yeah, this is almost sound like 1984. I am now done. I retain my beliefs, but have been defeated. He added that just like a few moments ago. It's like, oh. Just turned off a few moments ago, even though it's like an hour old. Yeah, it's bizarre. Above you got a monkey pissing on a sort of like puzzled face. I think that sort of like sums up consent at the moment. So, have we got anybody booked or anything? Like booked, anybody's going to call in?
Well, the Caribbean Critics coming by.
Just checking if I've got any interesting emails. Oh, email from Glenn Keeley. Now I'm sure this is a phone number. Yeah. And it starts 07.6923076. Well, I should say 076. Critical Mass Perfection, caps. Who Killed Glenn E.P. Keeley? Working title. A pap book by M.A. coming to a store near you. Looking into the looking glass, subtitle. Alright, done.
I'm here just real briefly. I've got to leave here in about the next 10-15 minutes and go pick up some people at the airport.
Okay.
Just in and out briefly. Just want to say hi to everyone real quick.
Yeah.
Hello.
Started the show. Any amazing suggestions?
They couldn't just show up in person, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know, it's just one of those things.
Yob wins right to wear trousers that show his underpants after judge said ASBO ruling would breach his human rights. I want to show the world my underpants. Then I just leave it. Yeah, no, I'm Superman. Oh dear. Ellis Drummond, 18, a violent offender and drug user, faced a ban on the clothing because he was considered to be wearing it in an intimidatory manner. Critics said the decision amounted to the human rights of the criminal being put above those of ordinary people. You sound like a tosser, like go out just like Superman. The Crown Prosecution Service, this is in the UK, it's in the Daily Mail. I'll post a link if you are, I just saw it as the article.
So he's wearing underwear?
He's wearing his underpants outside his trousers. Exactly like Superman does.
And that's that's considered threatening?
Intimidating, yeah, especially at skiddies.
Very intimidating underwear.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure what they call it in America. Underpants, pants, shorts, your undergarments. You know, the stuff that you go on the skin underneath your pants. It's called underpants, isn't it?
I don't know.
Oh. Well, they're also called boxer shorts or boxers.
Well, with this guy, I just saw the picture. Apparently, there's an elastic problem.
Anyone else find it odd that the bottom of the picture there that they're showing has a copyright symbol and then says Masons afterwards?
Right. Right. I saw that. Didn't know what to make of that.
Just saying. My whole thing is go ahead, wear trousers and show your underwear. It means they're hanging down so low you can't run away fast enough.
Yeah.
I don't see how you want to walk down the street looking like that.
Easy access for bum rapists.
Right.
Is it so easy? Excuse me, sir. Pull, just pull the trousers right off.
I don't get that at all.
Alright, well guys, sorry to be off and on as quickly as I am, but I do have to go. I'm sorry I can't be here all day long. I hope you have a great show. I hope everything goes fantastic for you, and I'll get a hold of you all a little bit later on tonight.
Alright.
See ya.
Okay.
So I guess we're down to just reading Judaism Discovered.
Yeah. I didn't think you'd find much else to talk about that song.
Why not?
The kid's basically won the right to humiliate himself if he actually had any brains to realise that he's looked like a complete tosser.
Yeah, everybody else does it.
Yeah. Yeah, obviously hair and trousers are out of fashion now, and you've actually got to wear your underpants on the outside. Maybe you'll start a hip-hop band or something.
Yeah, it's just not cool. I don't know what people think when they do that.
Really scabby underpants as well.
Okay, why is a pop-up coming up on this page? Okay, so basically he can't wear his pants properly.
Yeah, something like that. I'm not sure. I didn't bother reading the excuse he had for it. It seems like an idiot. The 5-year-old ASBO was imposed after Carol. Who's this guy? Yeah, it says he. So yeah, Dale Carroll. Oh, that's nice confusing. Terrorised the community by attacking residents, throwing fireworks at cyclists, and attempting to cut down a lamppost with a chainsaw. He's got convictions for assault, possession of Class B drugs, and a public order offence. The final version of his ASBO towards him is like he must not approach any person and aggressively beg of them money or personal items. His trousers hanging down.
Okay. What a huge waste of... I've seen kids wearing clothes like that. I mean, so what?
Yeah.
You know? As long as Wang's not hanging out or some girl has her titties hanging out, you know, fine, you know? Let them wear as they please, you know?
Well, that's it. He already had the order to stop him from doing that, and then they scrapped it, so it's basically cost twice as much. But they all use it as a case, precedent case, whatever, for other things. Yeah, it does seem a bit like sort of like intrusive. If he wants to look like a twat, then let him look like a twat, really. Yeah. Yeah, he's not going to get very far with his trousers down low like that, anyway.
Seems that the police state would like it that way, wouldn't they?
Yeah. Yeah, when you try to tie your shoelaces together while you're at it, you know. Yeah. Russian president asked to investigate alien claims. Should I bother reading this one?
Alien claims?
Oh no, it's even worse than I thought. I was hoping it would be about illegal aliens. Yeah, this is a BBC source as well. Isn't the wife of the Russian president, isn't she the one who wrote the book about being abducted by aliens? Or is that some other country? I know it is. It's kind of the wife of a president in some country. She's gone on TV and said, I was abducted! It was like in the past sort of thing. Not like during his presidency or anything. Yeah, Russian president asked to investigate alien claims. Richard Galpin, BBC News, Moscow. A Russian MP has asked President Dmitry Medvedev to investigate claims by a regional president that he has met aliens on board a spaceship. Yeah. Sort of gets scary when you think these people are like running big super states. Kherson Ilyum. Yeah. Yeah. Leon Ilyumzhinov, I think. It's like Ilyumzhinov, the leader of the...
They dress up as Greys, they dress up as, these are all
Yeah.
Air Force officers.
I know. Yeah, it's also, and scientists and just random people from like deep underground military bases and stuff coming out there, try out their little UFOs, which is just military aircraft, just unclassified to the past.
Spirograph there in England. Holographs.
Oh yeah.
They dig it.
The leader of a southern region of Kalmykia made his claim in a television interview. MP Andrei Lebedev is not just asking whether Mr. Ilyumzhinov is fit to govern. He is also concerned that if he was abducted, he may have revealed details about his job and state secrets. Wasn't that the whole point? Whether he did. It's like, what would he really know? So are you the president of the country you're in? Yeah. What country is it? I can't remember. The MP has written a letter to Dr. Medvedev raising a list of his concerns. In his letter he says that assuming the whole thing was not just a bad joke, it was an historic event and should have been reported to the Kremlin. He also asked if there are official guidelines for what government officials should do if contacted by aliens, especially if those officials have access to state secrets.
Is protocol on this?
Well, let's see now. They just traveled several light years in order just to get to our planet in the first place. Are we going to have any state secrets they're going to really care about?
I know, yeah. So they ask if...
Parking,
Yeah, they should redirect him to Stephen Greer of X-Ray Politics or something.
I mean,
you heard of that?
Greer hangs out with the Rockefeller estate every weekend.
I just know the first thing I'm going to ask a caveman if I run across one is, ooh, how in the world did you start that fire?
Yeah, we're really interested in the minute you tell you your politics. Oh, it's so confusing. Yeah, really difficult to understand.
Now they want to find out about Lady Gaga. Exactly why is she famous?
Yeah, and is she actually a bloke?
Just don't understand.
Yeah.
I'm looking at your media and trying to understand it.
Can you decensor the censored part videos? Is he a Jew?
Why is he on TV? People are very confused about his David Brenner's career.
Yeah. Jon Stewart, I mean, yeah, as compared to Stephen Colbert, Stephen Colbert's like 3 times better than him. Jon Stewart's just like this sort of like win it, they won't go away, and it's like, oh come on, go on, be funny. You know you can, go on. Don't worry about the time too much.
Comedy Central that were trained as newsmen. They were given the standard newsman training. That's Stephen Colbert and there's 2 others, but they really are convincing.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Don
They were
Pascal or
supposed to be
something.
they're supposed to be on the Daily Show. One of them was in that Noah movie. Did you ever see
Yeah.
the Noah's Ark movie? The sequel to Bruce Almighty. Evan
Think so.
Almighty.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
There's another one. There's a third guy. But anyway, they were given the same news training like Tom Brokaw would get or something, or Peter Jennings. And that's why they act like that. You know, they were given the hardcore training. I don't know what kind of mind control it takes to become a newsman. Something worse than that broadcast news thing going on. What do they beat them and make them sit at a desk? Or whatever it is, it worked.
Oh, that's it. Find it. Okay, Mr. Ilyumzhinov said in an interview on primetime television that he had been taken on board as an alien spaceship which had come to planet Earth to take samples, and claims to have several witnesses. He has been president of Kalmykia, a small Buddhist region of Russia which lies on the shores of the Caspian Sea, for 17 years. The millionaire, former businessman... Are we still there?
Hello?
Yeah, that's right. It just went silent in the background.
Yeah.
Millionaire former businessman has a reputation as an eccentric character. Well, yeah, put it mildly. As president of the World Chess Federation, he has
World
spent
Chess Federation?
Yeah, he's president of the World Chess Federation as well. He has spent tens of millions of dollars turning the impoverished republic into a mecca for chess players, building an entire village to host international tournaments. So no matter how good at chess you become, you can still be totally mad.
Well, Bobby Fischer kind of lost his mind. He was accurate about Israel, but the other stuff he did was not great.
Yeah, wasn't there that movie called Night Moves or something? That was all to do with like chess and masons and politics. Night Moves 1992. Christopher Lambert. Oh, Christopher Lambert was the guy who was Highlander, wasn't he? I think. In the Highlander movie. The original one, which had Sean Connery in it. Yeah, Christopher Lambert. I think he was in Highlander. Yeah.
Let's roll a minute here on the World Freedom Society show. Great.
Oh, it's great. It's great. It's like catching people as they're slowly waking up. Yeah. Night Moves, 1992. A chess grandmaster is in a big tournament, and when his lover is found painted up and the blood drained out of her body, Jewish style.
On the Stern Show, they've got Richard and Sal. They come on and they make funny phone calls also. They got obsessed with public access.
Yeah.
Shows. You know, like Alex Jones had. And they would call this chess program, and they would make suggest filthy moves to the women who were operating the show. Like where they want to stick the chess pieces, they'd ask them how large it is, and then they'd ask them to stick it in. I mean, it was just the most offensive stuff they could think of to say.
Yeah, make chess sound sexy or something.
Because the point of the show was you're supposed to call in and make a move, and so it was just already suggestive before it started, and then they
I got you. Cool in chess game.
I mean, I don't understand. That's just not an interesting program.
No.
Although I guess it is for English TV where they have snooker all day.
What, chess? I can't stand chess. No, it's not more popular in Russia and stuff. They're obsessed with it. It's really weird.
Right.
That guy built a whole village of chess players. How boring can that be?
It's a Buddhist village of chess players?
Something like that, yeah. Buddhist village.
Is there something more boring than that?
I can't
Wait,
think.
We have Don.
He's going to become Buddhist now, so he can play more
boring
chess.
than that, yeah. If only we could send Don to the chess village.
Pope further damages church reputation with shroud claim, and it looks like he's got a cigarette in his hands. On the heels of an onslaught of sex scandals which represent the tip of a very big iceberg dating back hundreds of years, and in which he himself has been implicated, Pope Benedict XVI has changed the subject by making yet another extraordinary claim without any credible scientific evidence, by asserting that the famed Shroud of Turin is indeed real. Yes, I tell you what is real. However, the past several centuries since the Shroud's sudden emergence in history, the valid scientific evidence has repeatedly demonstrated the Shroud to be a fake. So it's just, I don't know. Why do you suddenly decide to do that?
I don't understand the motives of other people.
Yeah.
I understand my motives.
Well, the other day, or week, whatever, he was saying, yes, it's okay to believe in aliens, and they must be real.
The French government has official pronouncements on all this stuff. They released everything they had.
I just look up Stephen Colbert clips so I can find the other guy who he's with. They did a little series and it was just them together. I think he might have been in the movie called The Inner Loop. That's really good.
The third guy was in Arrested Development at one point.
Yeah. Okay.
He played French.
Have you seen The Inner Loop? That's really good. It's Armando Iannucci movie. He's this obviously Italian guy, and he does comedy for the BBC, and he did stuff like The Day to Day, which I suppose you could say is like The Daily Show, but it isn't. It was like way before it. And Brass Eye.
I've seen Brass Eye.
Yeah. Yes, Morris.
Yeah.
And stuff. Yeah. Chris Morris has got a new movie out called The Four Lions, which is a touching comedy about suicide bombers.
A touching comedy about suicide bombers?
Yeah.
Wow.
Apparently.
Great.
Well, I ain't say touching. I just thought it was funny.
Now, where's the Caribbean critic to save our show?
No, you just like fall asleep for an hour or two. Yeah.
Critic's coming here. I talked to him last night.
Yeah. The Jihadist comedy. It's called. Yeah, I'm just getting it now. I don't know if it might just be an advert.
Rob
So.
Corddry is the third guy from Comedy Central.
Rob Corddry. Okay. Corddry.
That's what I find the guy
Steve Carell.
So it's Rob Corddry, Steve Carell, and Stephen Colbert. And they got that strange newsman kind of training, and they're very good at it, the three of them. And it completely destroys American television.
Yeah.
The whole newsman thing, which is entertainment in the first place.
Yeah, the Colbert
I
Report.
really resent the whole Sundance thing because it's the establishment pretending that there's actually independent film. Do you think there's some great meaning to the Four Lions name?
Well, it's Three Lions, like Three Lions on the Chest for England, that sort of thing. It's the England football team. Four Lions, four for Foundation. Perhaps I don't know what the Three Lions represent. Possibly England, Scotland, and Wales. And the fourth one would probably be Israel. It's all implying they're all parts of the British Empire, sort of thing.
Yeah. That is so ridiculous. British
Yeah.
Israel.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something you know. You really shouldn't have somebody tell you that.
Okay.
It's just so ludicrous.
Tell us why it's so ludicrous.
What, the Anglo-Saxon people are true Jews? I mean, where would you like me to start? Is it ludicrous now?
Are you like assuming that the Jews are the only Israelites?
Yeah, they all picked up and moved to freaking England, and then when they had to justify Henry VIII's divorce, then they thought of it. Oh, I get it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
perfect. Okay. Yeah, it was just convenient when they needed it. They just pulled it out of their hat.
Okay.
Yeah, well, genius. William Cooper, who I've been playing lately, has just nailed it to the wall. It's just ludicrous. And if they are, let's get rid of them. Shall we have a reading from the Talmud?
You want?
It is permissible to divorce your wife if she burns your dinner, or if you see a prettier girl. That's BT Gittin 91A.
That's alright.
So, I mean, if you're thrilled to announce yourself as the Jews, go ahead. I mean, if you want to join this group, okay. A woman who has had intercourse with a
You know, Astravius, you didn't answer my question. Are you assuming that all Jews, are you assuming all Israelites are Jews?
What?
You're assuming all Israelites are Jews?
No. I'm just saying that it's ludicrous that suddenly the Anglo-Saxon people are the true Jews. Who cares? And it's not true.
Okay.
I think it's because some of them get wise to the fact that they're supposed to inherit the earth or something. They possibly like, the meek shall inherit the earth. They read too much of that.
Favorites.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, they're better than us then. I'm starting to get this then.
Yeah, yeah. It's a sort of like the victim mentality, isn't it? Oh, that's why I'm always picked on because I'm actually better than everybody else. You know.
I knew we were better than everyone else.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm like the ugly duckling.
Not you horrible goyim.
Yeah, that's why everybody's nasty to me, because I'm better than them, yes.
They're jealous.
Yeah, they're jealous of my greatness. God's going to give me a special gift. I'm specially
chosen. There's no hope for
chosen.
the Freeman Society if their people are better than everyone else.
Yeah, like God's people on earth, and everybody else is just...
They're above the law then, right?
Yeah. Never mind, they're all like hook-nosed, shuffling dwarves, and all circumcised as well.
I don't have a religion where it's necessary for me to drink the blood of children to get what I need accomplished. You know what I mean?
Barack Obama's posted a new blog. Just me.
Oh, a new blog?
By Barack Obama.
Is Victor Brzezinski writing that one? Can you imagine him at White House parties? I mean, there'll be like a corner of the White House, it's all dark, and it's really cold over there, and
Yeah.
that's where Zbigniew Brzezinski is sitting during the party. He sucks all the air out of the room.
yeah, like a demon or something.
Oh, how great. Yeah. And this is the White House where we can't get a pepperoni pizza, because that's meat with milk. Thank you, Bush. Bush made the White House kitchen kosher. And Barack Obama, kept it that way. Barry Soetoro.
Oh, this is an old one now, but Stephen Hawkins is going on about alien death threats. He says, Stephen Hawking is arguing that humanity may be putting itself in mortal peril by actively trying to contact aliens. An approach is referred to as active SETI. And this guy goes on, I've got 5 reasons why he's wrong, but whatever. Yeah, obviously he knows more about space aliens than everybody else.
Well, you can see that they're ramping up for a phony alien invasion. I mean, the minute they announce that there's aliens, we've got to go get them and just take them out right then. They're gone.
Oh, boy.
These bastards have crossed the line. Let them announce that there's aliens, because it's time to arrest every last one of them.
Yeah.
They're going to camps then. I mean, the goddamn government's going to camps. Go ahead and announce that there's aliens, because that will demonstrate that you're completely insane.
And then movies like Avatar are part of that programming as well.
Oh yeah, that's another one, David. I want to point out, David, that the idea that Jews who reject the Old Testament, no less, are in an ark to save themselves from the disaster, and they're going to leave us all to die, right? Don't mention that they create the disaster in the first place and then have to save themselves in an ark. I was so insulted by that movie.
All right, I've heard you say before that all the Israelites have already been exterminated.
I didn't say that. I said that 95% of them are Russian Turks. They outnumber them.
The people claiming to be Israelites, yeah.
Hearing you say Israelites is starting to make me think that possibly you're closet CI.
Okay, whatever CI is.
Christian Identity?
Oh.
That's their retarded spin-off group from British Israelism? If you think British Israelism is stupid, which it is, CI is its retarded stepchild.
Frankly, at this point, I don't have an opinion on either one. I haven't gathered enough information to say one way or the other. But I haven't heard you spit off any information. You just say it's retarded, it's retarded.
Of info.
And that doesn't do anybody any good. Just saying it's retarded, it's retarded, it's retarded.
These people, the people who believed in CI 20 years ago, didn't believe the nonsense that these people believe today.
Okay.
They think they've got continuity all the way back to the Bible and before. They know for sure that they're the direct relatives of Adam, and we're not.
Yeah.
And they, of course, have historical evidence for this? No.
Well, let's see now. If Adam was supposed to be the first man and Eve was supposed to be the first woman,
I get that part, but they don't get that part. They think it's just them. They think it's just them. And not us. We're the beasts of the field. We're the ones with documentation over there in Asia Minor, and these idiots have no documentation, no nothing. And they just decided out of the clear blue sky that they are this, and then they use all these weird terms, and there's nothing to back it up whatsoever. And this flies in the face of actual evidence. Written evidence. Unless the people of Asia Minor are the greatest fiction writers of all time. Which, they certainly wrote a lot down.
Okay.
They could be the greatest fiction writers of all time. I didn't say that was impossible. But certainly the CI people have nothing on their side. And then we can go and look at Elohim City.
Okay, that's a new one.
Sponsored
What's
by
that?
the Southern Poverty Law Center, which is really the ADL.
I've heard of that place. That was in a documentary, wasn't it?
There's tons of evidence on this one too.
Probably.
There was a great documentary where they actually went and introduced Andreas Strassmeyer, the son of the German intelligence agent, who's also an intelligence agent himself. And they found him in Germany and interviewed him, and he was really embarrassed to talk about Elohim City since it was sponsored by the Southern Poverty Law Center. And now, you got to think about this. You're the grungiest, ugliest guys with big giant beards, and the supermodel, supermodel shows up at the gate wearing a Nazi uniform.
Okay.
And she wants to join. She wants to join you. Now, is that not an indication that she's a Fed? Of course, she was a Fed, Carol Howe. She looked good in the Nazi armband and all that. I mean, because she would have looked good. It didn't really matter. I think
In a bin liner, as they say.
right. It wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah. Maybe not a body bag. So.
Yeah. So they weren't at all suspicious that she wanted to join. And Army plant Timothy McVeigh, who did not quit the Army when he said he did. So there was this film crew, right? And they're bonded and dated and had special permission to be on the Army base, right? And as they're just randomly filming, Tim McVeigh walks by on camera and has to go into a supply shed, and they ask him some questions on film later that he had supposedly quit the Army, because he is a CIA Army mind control slave who believed he had a chip in his tooth. Is that what? A chip in his butt? Or where was a chip? And it wasn't in there. There was no chip.
What a mistake to make it.
Yeah. So that's a real, positive move there for CI.
Yeah, that would really suck, wouldn't it? If you thought you had voices in your head because you had a chip in your brain for 20 years, and you've been waiting 20.
There's no chip. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you waited 20 years for this surgery, and then you find out there's no chip in there.
That would be very upsetting.
Very embarrassing. If it's a high-profile thing as well. I'm not mad. You must kill him.
It was about discrediting him in advance. That was the goal. What do you think we're doing here? The government wants to pass terrorism legislation, and they desperately need you to act like an ass, Tim. And he's standing out front in the face of 12 cameras. Talk about coverage. And they didn't use any of these in the trial because that would have released them to us. So we could have seen Al Hussein leaving the scene. Well-known CIA officer there. I just think that, that was a bad episode for CI.
Okay.
Now, of course, Tim McVeigh was standing there with the world's largest vacuum cleaner sucking the building into the truck, if you believe the official story. The world's largest Hoover. Or there were bombs inside the building, as the local news said, which he could not have put in there with military-grade explosives, not fertilizer. And of course, there's General Ben Parton to explain that it's impossible, no matter how Tim McVeigh supposedly was supposed to have done it. The damage was completely irrational for that kind of a truck bomb.
Oh, this was a truck bomb that's damaged. Was this the World Trade Center one, or was this
No, this is
Oklahoma City bomb?
Mura building.
Yeah, you got to keep your lies straight here. This is the Oklahoma City lie. The other lie was where the FBI ordered Ahmad Salam to do it, and he said, "But we're having a drill." And so he tapes the head of the FBI in New York ordering him to do it.
Yeah. We should always record any conversation you have any authority It's like,
They're not
yeah, it's like,
authorities. They're public servants. I mean,
yeah, I know. But if
what-
somebody
how
calls
there's
you,
some
you say
things
like,
an
oh,
authority.
yeah, if somebody calls you, say like, oh, I'm from the blah blah blah, blah, and then it's like, you can say, well, I'll record this conversation then. Carry on.
You know all these rules about taping conversations?
Yeah.
Those are statutes, by the way.
Are
Did
they?
you know that? Acts and statutes? I don't consent.
Well, you don't have to give consent to having your conversation with them recorded,
No.
but
I don't consent to the act and statute that makes it illegal.
oh, I got you.
It's not unlawful.
Of course it can't be. It's
No.
just sort of a hobby of mine. It just happens
Right.
to be in a legally binding contract or anything.
No. The whole thing's unlawful. I mean, the whole thing is not. It's an act or a statute which we're not bound to as free men on the land, as common law sovereign citizens. So you know what that means. The floodgates are opening.
You're not doing harm to somebody else by sitting there and recording their very own words that came out of their mouth. They're doing
No, of
harm
course
to
not.
Because
themselves.
the truth
Yeah,
is
yeah.
a defense.
Yeah.
Because the truth is a defense, David.
If they open their mouth and say it, then basically they're harming themselves if it's harmful.
Well, yeah. Because if they're professional as they claim to be, then anything they say should be, considered
now,
as
if I'm
something to
using
use
the
against them.
Pentagon's computer that can take your voice and turn it, and then I can make you say anything I want you to say. How they said Colin Powell on the machine was saying, "I'm being treated well by my captors." Like they took 20 or 30 minutes of his speech, and the computer does it. It's not like it's editing. The computer regenerates his speech.
Yeah.
So he never said that. He said they took just some of his speeches and fed them into the computer, and then it generated, "I'm being treated well by my captors." Now that is not true. So the truth is not a defense there. But you talking uncut, and the rule of precedence there is that really the big rule is that you can't cut up someone's paragraph. But now lately, you can't cut up someone's sentence. But they didn't even give that courtesy to David Koresh. Remember he said,
Yeah.
If I made that woman pregnant, then I must be God. She's 72
Yeah.
years old. They cut the sentence in half. I mean, imagine I said, "I'm going to burn you a Beatles CD," and then they cut it in half and they say, "I'm going to burn you." I'm going to burn you a Beatles CD. I mean, you can't do that. But anyway, the truth is a defense, and the act and statute type of situation that tells you that you can't tape. I mean, sorry, that kind of nanny state bullcrap is not applicable to us. I mean, either the rules work one way or they work another way. One.
But yeah, I mean, if they can record you, you can record them anyway.
The floodgates are opening.
I got another one. Unlike Europe, Iran never hurt Jews. It's at the
No, they live
Haaretz.
very well there. And
Do they?
nobody fights with anyone else, and they don't lord it over everyone, and it's,
I just like the title. It's like, suddenly being real precious about the Jews.
Oh, look, it's my favorite paper, Haaretz.
Yeah.
It really is. I mean, I
Haaretz.
think that if they're planning to win, they're going to need to shut this paper down, because this paper tells the truth.
Yeah.
I really admire Haaretz. I even learned to pronounce it correctly, because, your article did not work.
Isn't it? Okay.
No, it leads to the front page. But still, I think we should just read the regular articles, because this newspaper tells the truth.
Oh yeah.
They've got to shut this one down. Just if they're planning to win anything. This is letting all the stories out.
They must have pulled that page down. I can read out the one I've got of it.
I'll do it from.
Yeah, unlike Europe, Iran never hurt Jews. That's the headline. It says a conference of the religious minorities of Iran was held in Paris on Saturday. An Iranian lawmaker representing the country's Jewish minority says that Iran has never harmed its Jewish community, condemning Western propaganda against Iran. While Jews were hurt by European churches during the Middle Ages, no case of a crackdown against Jews by Muslims has been reported in historical records. Siamak Mossadegh said in a conference on religious minorities that was held in Paris on Saturday. Iran's embassy in France had organised a conference that brought together a number of French intellectuals and scholars. Jews have been in Iran for the past 3,000 years. They consider themselves Iranian and they are martyred during the war. The Iranian lawmaker said that exactly like that, pointing to the 1980 to 1988 Iran-Iraq war. He also condemned Western propaganda against Iran, calling it baseless, Taliban-ness.
Yeah, I really feel good about this. This thing about not being counted as European, not being counted as white. Because we just skirted that story completely. Because we didn't do those things to those people.
It's a short article. It's only one sentence left. The Jewish lawmaker objected Israel's ongoing crackdown on Palestinians and stressed that the Zionist school of thought does not represent Judaism in any way, just as Al-Qaeda does not represent Islam.
No, Judaism's worse.
Judaism's worse than the Zionists?
Do you need more examples? I have my Judaism Discovered open. Yeah. Would you like more quotes about women?
Go then.
It is not good to talk to women, not even your own wife. That's
that's good. That's good.
Off.
That's their chat up agenda. Yeah. How to not chat up women in bars. When you find a woman you want, you grab her by the hair.
Little Saint Hugh of Lincoln, or Saint Simon of Trent. Blessed Andrew of Rin. Saint Gabriel Bentolowski. Yeah, I don't drink the blood of anyone, let alone children. I do drink orange juice though.
Thousands of European Jews denounce Israeli settlements. Well, yeah, it's pretty predictable. That's another one.
I don't understand why it's okay to kill a Palestinian. I mean, it's certainly not. That's just insane. There's no justification. There's no way to make it sound okay. And then the people who claim the Holocaust to be such fantastic hypocrites, to be doing it to somebody else.
The excuse just be that Palestinians are Jew haters in Israel, whatever, hate Israelis.
Whether they like them or not. They can live.
But they hurt Israel.
Yeah, they hurt our feelings.
Yeah, they hurt it. Yeah. Poor little Israel. Israel's a poor little country. Haven't you seen that YouTube clip? Why do you have to hurt Israel? What's she ever done to you?
Wait, where shall I start? I can defend that.
All she wants is to expand science and technology and help people. Have you seen the clip? She's like crying and stuff all the way through it. It's really bad acting. I'll find a link for it in a second. So we're in a battle.
This is the best book. I want another copy.
And what book is that?
Judaism Discovered.
Okay.
Michael Hoffman. Because then when you look up the references in the Talmud, and I have the Steinsaltz Talmud, I have 4 of them now. There's 15. But anywhere you look it up, it's right there, right where it's supposed to be. The guy's scholarship is spot on, and there's no way to take it out of context. The best part is you show it in context, and it's even worse.
Okay, she's got like, she's sweary as well on this one, so be careful. She swears right from the beginning.
Oh, leave Israel alone to kill.
Yeah.
Leave
Israel alone! She's got tears and everything. You know? It's like forces to change her opinion. Yeah, keep putting on some radio.
He's had so many wars, so many soldiers. She just had 2 fucking wars in Lebanon. Her peace partners turned out to be terrorists. Murderers. Her southern front is battles, and all you people care about are the Arabs. And
Who the hell is this?
Look at the link. I got a link on the American Freeman chat room.
what you people don't realize is that Israel's making all these scientific discoveries, and I'm sure you can describe crap about it.
Well, that's real science, you silly foot woman.
She hasn't been peace in years. And all you people want is more.
Yeah.
Okay, who in the world is she? I see her face.
Just some whore. I just thought it was like really interesting, totally wacky perspective.
So this from Joe Blow.
Yeah, this is I got it from his favourites. Is his actual version?
The Umunu Conspiracy? What's that supposed to be?
Let me find out. Oh yeah, you got it for the link. I don't know. They asked me to explain the whole page.
It's from Ziomania. When you
It's
see
not,
that's
it's
a
nothing
favorite.
to-
That's just
yeah,
a marked favorite.
Saying, yeah, it's just in his favourites list. It doesn't really matter. I just remember seeing it there. I just thought it's funny.
Yeah, but you get the joke. She of course feels this way, but it's a copy of Leave Britney Alone.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. Which really
Okay.
Look for that.
Okay, so like neither one of these were really worth talking about.
That is funny.
And this person posted themselves up on YouTube to do that.
over 30 million views.
Really?
30 million views, yeah. No, 31.
And we're adding one more. We're brilliant too, huh? Okay.
It has to have some references. I mean, that's what that Israel was about. It was
Yeah, I didn't realise that. I knew it wasn't original. I just kind of
Right.
suspect she'd rip something off.
We should promote that idiot Joe because that was from Zion.
Yeah, it wasn't anything to do with him. I don't know why you started reading out from that thing. It's like, so what? I stole it from his site. Yes, what do you do? Yeah, wow. Do you have to read out the whole content of every single webpage? There's an advert on one of them, so you better say I quoted it from that, you know. Learn Hebrew online, there you go. This is one from another page I was looking at.
I mean, I've never seen women wear that much highlight. This guy has so much eyeliner.
Leave Britney alone. That was a guy, yeah, I couldn't.
Chris
I was.
Proctor.
Oh, was it? Okay. Yeah, I
I
thought it
have
might.
all the Chris Proctor ones downloaded already. It's just so insane. What I need is a decent audio editor. I'm like so far back on archives now. By tomorrow I'll be to this back. One more show.
Send him out raw.
Okay. See, the problem is the damn archiver. I mean, the one that comes with Nicecast chops everything up if there's the slightest interruption. And so I've been using Audio Hijack to go with it.
Yeah.
So I just match them up. Other people chop stuff out of their programs. I don't even do that. Which I should.
Well,
that's even more
we should-
difficult.
We should put out a raw version and then an edited version. You know.
No. I don't edit the content. I'm just trying to match the damn things up.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to preserve what was really there in the first place, because the one archiver likes to chop stuff up, and the other one I was recording at too low a quality, so now I'm recording with Audio Hijack at a higher quality today. Today I can actually have today's show up very quickly.
What a treat that would be.
What?
What a treat that would be. I'm eating red ice. Oh, you can tell I'm really bored because I started looking at red ice.
Oh, that you gotta be really tired to listen to that.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That's what I'm trying to listen to. And then after he's you know, it's like he's on Valium or something. I don't understand the show at all. And then he wants money for part 2 of whatever.
Yeah. And that's usually
Although
Billy's
sometimes
brand.
part 2 is available for free, even though it claims that it wants money. Which I don't understand that either. So.
Oh yeah, they become available after some time or something. I think, yeah.
No, I think those are errors.
Yeah, probably.
I really do.
Oh yeah, he's made about 5 errors that I've pointed out and sent him emails about, and links to missing pages and all that sort of stuff.
No. I mean that they're available for free when they shouldn't be.
Yeah. I don't know. I pay my £5 million a month, whatever it is.
Yeah, I mean, if I paid for all the sites that want my money, or if I paid for all the ones I want, that I never pay. Like I was almost convinced because I went to Talks Cafe,
Yeah.
I paid like $6.95 or something, and I found Able Leisure and all the shows available. Because I mean, imagine that you're so greedy that you'd rather that we lose the battle against the New World Order for $5. You desperately want the $5.
Actually, I will mention one thing about Joe Blow. He hasn't done anything for at least a month. Ha 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 ha. There you go.
Yeah.
You want Joe Blow mentioned? There you go. Good. He's hopefully dead.
Oh, this this iconoclast, he's going to try to make some big fuss now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why?
He's making these false claims that are disproven when you listen to his own show when I was interviewed. He doesn't even know it's on his own program.
He doesn't listen to himself, you're saying?
No.
No.
The very things he's God, I caught you. No, this stuff I said on his first program. There is a pay element to the World Freeman Society that I've pointed out as irrelevant, and they point out as irrelevant, unless you want them to make you an ID. It's unnecessary, especially since all the information is free in the first place. And it's not what I would call a moneymaker, because making the IDs is kind of expensive when you get holograms and all this other stuff.
We put holograms in it?
Yeah, I mean, we've been reviewing different technologies, and man, are they expensive. So, it's not a...
Do we have a swipe strip as well, so that they can go to a central database and see that indeed we are...
Right, that's the point of it, is to save your own freaking hide. It's not because someone's going to now get a palatial estate in Montserrat or something. Certainly I'm getting no check. Neither is Menard. It's, if there's a few pennies left, I assume it'll go to the website. But no, Iconoclast has caught me.
Okay.
Except I told him in advance that it's so what?
What's he caught you doing, anyway? Did he actually get around to saying?
I'm trying to make money, apparently.
Oh, no.
I'm in a money-making scam.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make money.
I'm not trying to... But the thing is, I'm not. It's on the website. I didn't make the website. I didn't come up with a pay element to the site. And you actually get something for your money. You get blue plates for your cars. You get the ID. You get a passport to get out of the country. And a few other things. And...
Well, you come on down here. You come out to my farm, and for $4, I'll hand you a dozen eggs.
Right, you get something for it.
I'm trying to make some money. Come on down, buy some of my eggs.
No, I mean, I'm confused what he's got me at.
Yeah.
If you listen to his own program, now everything's been disproven. So I don't know, and he's on some kind of rampage, like a muckraker, like a classic muckraker newspaper guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like he's made some scandal out of nothing. And I'm not putting up with it. I'm going to sue him with the notary. If one freaking lie crap comes out. Because Louis B. came and played it for me. What he plans to do. He made this radio show about it. If that goes on the air, I'm going to get him with the notary. And I'm going to collect damages. With the justice of the peace. I'm going to demonstrate the Freeman system by nailing someone who screws me like this. It's not like, we were just talking about that you can release tapes. There's nothing to release. This is just him talking bullshit about me. Just making stuff up. There's nothing to play that I've said. And that's not what Louis played for me was just what this guy was just making this sort of bizarre allegations all by himself on his tape deck. I'm going to nail him for that. I can play it here. Should I play it here?
Yeah, go.
Well, if you do that, then you kind of eliminate
Or wait, then I'm
any
playing
claims
lies about myself. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to play lies about myself.
You eliminate any claim that he did the harm because you've already played it. He could just play it on the basis that you played it already.
Oh, okay.
No.
I'm not making allegations about myself. Plus, there's no secret to be revealed.
Yeah, he probably wouldn't do anything anyway.
Crap. I mean, I don't do anything to harm. I helped this bastard out. For someone to go on the rampage about me after I help you, I don't get it. It's like you're making a name for yourself out of controversy. This is the same guy that wants to attack everybody in the truth movement. And then he's desperate for money himself. So what it really is psychologically revealing. No one is allowed to make money
just leave Brittany alone. I don't know.
Just leave Lenny alone.
I don't do this stuff to other people. I mean, I help other people out, and somehow it's open season on me. get me if that makes you happy, because I'm gonna get you. You know.
Strange.
Jeez. You know. Back to Judaism Discovery. This is just such a wonderful book. I can't recommend this enough. I didn't know half this stuff.
Read us a chapter. Please read us a bedtime story, please.
The whole chapter, yeah, word for word. You listened to the Global Reality radio show recently. I was just listening to it a few seconds ago.
No, I wanted that to be good. I really, I liked the whole idea. He was good at the beginning, and then he started reading ISIS Unveiled, and then promoting how wonderful it was.
Yeah. He kind of got involved in a whole bunch. Yeah. He kind of got involved in a whole bunch of shillery and weird sort of like psyops against people. And it's just, I don't know why he bothers doing that. Just stupid.
Get it.
Yeah.
And then he was explaining how he loved Lucifer.
Was he? Yeah, because
I
yeah.
actually stopped the tape at that moment and marked the time, because that was the last time I listened to it.
It's weird. It's depending on the people he has listening to his show, he'll kind of sort of like direct his sort of like disgust at them through that.
Yeah.
Just seems to just not care about anything or anybody. Just seems to be like have a problem with everything. It's really strange. Yeah, because like I said, he starts out alright, and you're thinking, oh, this could be a really good show. And it's not. He doesn't have like a totally crap voice or anything, and he keeps him going. Doesn't really break, apart in the show. But yeah, he starts like putting in all these like personal references and stuff, and depending on people in the chat rooms. And I was in there for a bit, and he had this stupid Oracle of Delphi thing, which is just a stupid whore that tells lies. And she was doing endless impersonations of people, and she seemed to be like taking over the show. And then he went missing for several days, and I said in the chat room he's got his head up her ass. And then like a few days later he comes back.
Fundamentally, he had something good to say. One thing he exposed, although Barbara Aho did it too. Exposed Council for National Policy.
Yeah.
And I that really tied up a lot of loose ends for me. You know what I mean? I mean that was pretty darn amazing. I mean, you wonder what ties Pat. There were a lot of these loose ends in the media. Pat Buchanan, Pat Robertson, Dick Armey, and even Dr. Stan Montana, including. And this is a shocker. Who's that? Jack McLam.
Yeah, I've heard
the
Jack.
number of people in this group, it's all the weird loose ends.
Yeah.
It's a long list of people. It's not it's not the CFR. It's the
Council for Foreign Relations.
Yeah. It's the CNP.
Is that actually true, or is it just that it matches up?
True. Yeah, they've got their own website. It is true. And this is the group that took over the Tea Party. Not that, I mean, the Tea Party is a bad concept in the first place because it was the wrong protest in 1776 or whatever. I mean, why would you want to imitate that? And notice, it's the wrong protest now. So I don't know.
Nah. Yeah, then he like disappeared for like best part of a week and came back and said, "Oh, my mum had died, but actually it was my grandmother, or it was my grandmum died, but actually she was more like my mum." Yeah, he couldn't even be sure of his own story, and it was like sort of like, "Yeah, so fuck you," and I got banned or whatever, or I could still type in the chat room, but nothing was going through. But he
I had that problem.
Yeah, and then he started like putting like personal articles, and he's like, "Oh, I just discovered this well. It's been lying around. It's like 3 years old or something. Oh, but I thought I'd read it out." And it was some crap about Viking warriors being killed in southern England, like how dozens of killed.
Once he revealed the Council for National Policy, he had nothing else.
Oh, got you.
Once
He goes
you
well
run
into
out
the.
of material, you run out of material.
Yeah, he's well into the whole mystical bullshit as well. Like, everything in the world's against us developing our third eye, and then once we develop our third eye,
Yeah.
get the pineal gland. We gain superpowers, and the elite rich are all eating each other's third eyes, and taking them out of babies' heads and stuff. And there's no actual evidence for this at all, apart from a few
But if you add up what he's talking about, it's the new age.
It is
He
totally.
likes the new age.
Yeah, he's I've got a song about him. I'll dig it
All
up.
he has to do is join Zeitgeist, and he's all set.
Yeah, no, but he's a sort of like true blue God-fearing Christian when it comes down to it.
Not if you like the new age. Not if you like ISIS Unveiled.
With like the whole homosexual quality to it as well, like really sort of white manish. Yeah. I'll find the link. He's got his own theme song. He probably knows about it, but
His first movie, his second movie. His second movie was good. The one about the Council of National Policy was a good movie.
yeah.
I hate to recommend people like that because then people say, well, I want some more information from the same source, and then the rest of it's not good. But sometimes people just make one great movie. Or, like, Funkadelic isn't bad, the rest of their albums. If they made one album, it might be the best album ever made. That Maggot Brain album.
Yeah.
I mean, it's that good. But the rest of their albums, they're good, but they're not great.
Mhm.
This album's great. That's what I'm saying about that movie at the CMP video.
Yeah.
You just have one thing to say. Maybe you just have one thing to give the world. You did it, and now you're done. And shut up. Like James Brown. I mean, James Brown was wonderful through 1972. If he just sort of retired, it would be good. Don't embarrass yourself or ruin your legacy.
Yeah, that's it. So he spends the rest of his show just like dissing people. This has got nothing to do with him.
Right.
It's really
Don't embarrass
strange.
yourself. If you have nothing else to say, and that could be applied to us, by the way. And I may be guilty of doing stuff that's too inside, like I just explained earlier. I just want to explain in case there's any concept that we can, don't feel that we can't blow it like everyone else.
But it doesn't matter so much because
It is
we're
our
not,
right to blow it.
we're not
If
after
everybody
donations.
else, I'm gonna shoot my wife's trunk and I'm gonna shoot through her fur coat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like James Brown. I love James Brown. I just pretend he didn't live after 72.
We're not after donations though, like Josh Reeves is. At the moment, he's got one ending May the 25th. Yeah, he's got to raise $800, and he's raised $146. And he's
These desperate fundraiser deals.
$800 in 1 month. It's ridiculous. But it's like that every month.
So
He's
talking
always
about this moneymaker ID card,
Yeah, no.
What wall did it have on it?
The thing is, he wanted me to talk to some friend of his that he was that kind of class. And so the guy didn't have his own paperwork ready. It was being mailed to him from another state. So I said, we need to see the papers first. You can't respond to the...
We need to see your papers.
No,
I'm sorry.
But I mean, if you don't actually have the legal papers that have been sent to you, what are we talking about? I gotta see that. But then he was talking about joining the organization, and so we have this deal where you can we're trying to get people to show movies in their local area.
Okay.
And I innocently said that that the deal was that we've done in the past that we split the pot with them. And this was misinterpreted as I personally would be profiting from this, that people would be charged to come in to see a Robert Menard movie, and that this was a money-making scheme. I said,
Yes,
innocently,
bring me your blank DVD so that I can...
I said I would send him any anti-NW movie he wanted, and Menard movies to go with it, and he could just show some stuff. The deal is that if you show the movies right, people get saved from their freaking foreclosures. So there's not 10 cities in America that they get out of debt, that they become freemen on the land. I mean, it's more of a philanthropic thing. I mean,
we could do an audio cut on you right there because you say you just showed videos and they get saved. Blank.
No, it sounds religious, doesn't it? But it isn't. And the thing is, and what we offer in exchange for that is we're willing to give you the membership. But some people say they can't afford the the membership for the pay part of the society, which isn't trivial to begin with. I mean, not the money, but the benefits. I mean, the whole thing it's not very expensive, and the benefits aren't that great. So this was interpreted as I'm a huckster, I'm a fraud, I'm everything that's bad in the world, and he wants to go out there and promote this. Thanks a lot.
Well,
I mean, tell me what I've done wrong. I mean, the guy wanted he wanted to get into the ID part of the society, and so this was a free way to do it, and it promotes the society in the first place. And what, the $2 someone leaves in a hat?
I would be interested in getting one of the IDs. That's why I'm curious what's all in them, because as I understand it, my photo will be on there, and my signature, right? Okay. I've already talked to the.
That won't be binding to your person. There is no person.
Yeah. Well, and on top of that, for all these notary processes, they ask for a photo ID with, and it has to have a signature on it.
Well,
and I've already talked to the Secretary of State from Missouri.
Yeah, but do you know someone who's earned himself a membership?
Okay.
One David Ray.
All right. Well, send me my ID.
Well, we haven't done that yet. But I'm just saying you're in the club because of the stuff you've done. It doesn't take much to get in.
I would be willing to pay for that anyway, just for the to support the process.
I'm just trying to say, in the face of being accused of like heinous hypocrisy and criminal activity, God, it's so trivial. And in any case, okay, let's say we split the pot with you. The dollar that's so things. It doesn't go to me. It goes to Paul in the UK to put back in the treasury.
Now wait a minute. If we're going to split the pot, and it's going to cost because I've earned a free membership, and it's going to cost money to produce the ID, doesn't that mean that the pot's going to be negative? I'd have to pay into it.
That's right.
Damn. Not going to make any money that way.
I wasn't suggesting
Shit.
at all. I was saying you find a church or a VFW or something that would help him do it for free. People are showing videos across the country. How can people promote the Menard thing and stop the New World Order if we don't show videos anywhere?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Before I even started, I was screwed.
I gotta say, I haven't been too brave so far. We have an audio video desk in the back of our church, and I've left 3 videos on that desk. They've disappeared, so hopefully somebody's watching them.
I hope they watch them. Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry.
I'm waiting for the day that
I'm
waiting for the day that somebody actually goes, hey, we should actually watch this before the congregation. Just pop it in. I'm not suggesting it. I'm just, I've silently just left them on the desk.
You know what I mean? I would show them something of content first, and then, this is content too, but I'm just saying, get them in the mood for it. This is more like legal stuff, Yeah,
well, I got excited when I saw it. It's like, hey, this is something I can actually do about it. Yeah, I saw it as like, okay, now this is something I can actually do. This isn't just sitting there hiding from the state. This is actually doing something.
People always ask, what can they do to stop the New World Order? Well, this would help, I would think.
Well, even if it's a complete lie, you get a whole bunch of people who are sitting there saying, I don't consent, I don't... Yeah, but even if it was, you get a whole bunch of people saying, I don't consent, I don't consent. Well, what happened with, oh God, I forgot his name. The Indian guy who basically told Britain we aren't going to do it anymore. Gandhi, yeah, he's like...
Oh, he was, okay.
I didn't know who the hell you were referring to. Yeah, Gandhi.
I'm bad with names.
Okay, there you go. He's bad with names.
Gandhi.
Yeah, I'm bad with names. So, it's like...
That guy who committed assault, yeah.
Even if he was wrong about England owning India, which he wasn't, but even if he was wrong, he was very successful just simply because, what are you going to do? You're going to shoot everybody who doesn't do what you tell them to do?
That's the American way.
Pretty soon you're not going to have enough. Pretty soon you're not going to have enough people to haul the dead bodies off.
We outnumber cops 1,001.
Well, yeah. Which is part of the reason why they want to get rid of our guns, but all the same.
No, but the thing is, lack of consent blows it for them.
Yeah. Oh, this is a neat thing. Talking about wanting to get rid of all our guns. Talking to cops on the street. Most of the cops I talk to, they are more than pleased that their fellow citizens have guns. It means that they have, less situations they have to face.
Do you live in Missouri?
I used to live in California when I talked to them.
Oh, California cops told you this?
Yeah. They were happy that other people have guns. They don't like going into neighborhoods where there's only a few guns, because it's usually the bullies that have the few guns.
Oh, I realize that, but I'm just saying, usually your California cops don't have this opinion. I'm shocked that you ran into this, but...
Actually, it's the police chiefs that have the get rid of the guns attitude. It's the cop on the street, for the most part, that do not have that attitude. So... Yeah, it's kind of surprising. I mean, I had friends who called themselves liberal.
Because where you know that there's guns, you're not going to be stealing.
I had friends who called themselves liberal, and you talk to them, and you find out, gee, these sound like conservative values coming out of your mouth, which they get highly insulted if you tell them that. But they believe.
The and the evangelicals that have given so-called conservatism a bad name because they're the libs from the Democratic Party that were shifted over. Real conservative views express no social position because you'd want people to think for themselves.
Yeah, I mean, I just found it totally bizarre. I mean, it's like,
many of your traditional old Republicans, Barry Goldwater period or before, may have been anti-abortion, but they would never tell you that because they never talk about it in public. I mean, they never had a policy of telling you what to do with your life.
Yeah,
that would be bad.
Yeah, it's like, do you want Group A telling you how to live your life or Group B telling you how to live your life? Let's go for neither.
The Republican Party had no social issues whatsoever because you're supposed to be responsible for yourself.
Yeah.
Where have we heard that before? World Freeman, World
Gee. Anyway.
See, I thought it was pretty cool. I found videos in the 60s or whatever, where you see Republicans trying to debate Democrats and they have nothing to talk about. They have no issues in common. Now they do because both
kind of hard to
party. It's the Trotskyites versus the Stalinists.
Republicans
Saul Alinsky.
Republicans versus Democrats.
Republicans.
Yeah. Republicans versus...
See, what we need to do, since you live in Missouri, I should come out there and help you. We need to rescue Dave Von Kleist.
Who?
That horrible Joyce Riley is a shill. She had special army training. She went after Peter Kawaja and all this stuff. And then now she's latched on to, or actually she's controlling poor Dave Von Kleist, who I love. I think he's fantastic. When that horrible bitch leaves for the day and Dave hosts the show by himself, the Power Hour, he's great. And she yells at him and shames him like for nothing. And he hasn't done anything wrong. But she yells at him and treats him like a dog and says it's her show and all this crap and he shouldn't talk. He's fantastic. I like him. I don't just like him because she's mean to him. I like him when he's by himself. He sits and plays guitar. He did this thing about this curved guitar thing. It was really quite interesting. But I can't listen to her without pulling my hair out. At one point, she was promoting Rima Labo, and I was really upset. And so I sent them a copy of that thing that was eventually remade by George Clooney.
Then he said goats.
Yeah, and then he stared goats. Because Rima Labo's husband, Albert Stubbermine, explains that he
I finally saw a review for that movie. I actually want to see it.
Oh, no, you need to see the real one, the one from Channel 4. the one that John
The
Ross.
new Stare Goats?
The original is a documentary,
What they tried to ban.
and it's actually true. The remote viewing, the whole bit, every part of that's true. They just
Well,
many
accurate.
People thought that was the funniest thing there ever was, and it is. It's really funny.
Yeah, accurate as opposed to true. I mean, it doesn't. You're not saying it actually works, are you? You can
No,
kill
of
somebody
course
by
it doesn't
remote by
work.
staring
You
into
can't
goat's
walk
eyes.
through walls. I mean, the concept of listening to this one-star general explain to you that he tried to walk through his Pentagon office walls.
Yeah. They tried something like that in the Montauk Project as well, wasn't it? Or the Philadelphia experiment.
The Montauk Project is, if you amp up electricity so much, according to them, you should hold your hand out and say, I'd like a cup of coffee, and it manifests in your hand.
No, you get electric shock.
Right!
You think you received a cup of coffee in your hand.
Reality?
You just amp up the electricity. Just amps up the electricity. That just increase the amount of electrical charge there is in the air.
Imagine, okay, maybe we just need a lot more electricity to test this theory out.
Yeah, I think someone who's become addicted to electric shock therapy.
Yeah, and how about you try it and I'll stand back?
Yeah. See, the lucky chair of the Montauk Project. Yeah, because the other thing, the men who stare at goats, that was what it was named after, was they had agents who like stare into goats' eyes, and by doing that they could remotely kill somebody.
First Earth Battalion, and they had a goat lab. At first they had dog lab, but they didn't want to kill dogs, so they had goat lab where they were staring at goats trying to make their heart stop.
Yeah.
That's really something. That's a good use of our money.
They were trying to kill the goats, so I thought they were using the goats to kill people from remote visualization. They were imagining
No,
person
that
They were using the goats
It
for
was a three-part
practice.
documentary. The third part was remote viewing. The second part was this Men Who Stare at Goats. The first part was the First Earth Battalion and the actually the opening of the thing. Christopher Surf, the guy that wrote all the there was the Raposo. He was a Brazilian guy, and Christopher Surf. The two of them wrote the Sesame Street material
Yeah.
in the 70s. And as brainwashed as it became at the end, it was actually pretty good at the beginning, and he was the original writer. And to see him playing piano, and to see him playing some of the material, John Ronson had gone to him to get his reaction about the fact that the U.S. Army was using it for torture.
Hmm?
Playing the Sesame Street stuff to people in Guantanamo Bay.
Yeah, yeah.
So they're sitting there with Christopher Surf, who is as gentle as a
You
lamb.
tell me how to get
Right.
to.
I mean, this is one of the kindest, nicest guys. I mean, he's really a friendly guy. He
I
writes
used to-
Sesame Street songs.
Yeah.
I mean, and to sit there and explain torture to him, and his laughter at it was worth the price of admission right there. I mean, it was really a sweet segment because he couldn't grasp the concept that they were using it to torture people and kill them. You know, I mean, that they would play it for 72 hours in a row. I mean, it was hard to get it across to him, and he didn't understand it. And so he was playing on the way to Sesame Street, you know, and he thought it was so ludicrous that it was really fun. That was the opening to the documentary. But then it got into Goat Lab and other stuff, and it was pretty terrible.
Yeah, yeah. Wasn't I used to think that Howard Stern used to dress up as Big Bird in Sesame Street. I thought that was his acting job.
He never dressed up as Big Bird.
I know, but I used to think he was. I did hear of him even as a child, and I thought,
He's
it's...
in England, and they don't. He's on the radio, and so everything you've probably seen of him is false.
But
And
couldn't they have based it about him?
These criminal Zionists who would edit his show.
Yeah.
He hates Israel. He hates Judaism. He hates all this stuff. His parents are labor Zionists. That's why he has them on the show. So he lets them talk, and they embarrass themselves. And really, you've never seen such a respectful audience when his parents come on. Because the joke is that they will then talk about politics. They're friendly as regular people. But that if Rosie O'Donnell or somebody else brought her parents on the show, on their own show, the audience would just needlessly attack them for no reason, just to be mean.
Yeah.
Howard's audience is friendly, respectful, comes up with good questions. It's bizarre. I mean, the Howard Stern show is such an enigma. I mean, it's really it's such a wonderful thing. But anyway.
So that's what's going to happen when my children come on this show?
What? What?
So is that what's going to happen when my children come on this show?
On the Stern Show?
No, on this show.
On this show? Oh, we don't have any callers.
Why would anyone want to do that? We got nearly zero listeners.
People just want to call up and be nasty to other people.
Nah.
I mean, it's such a thrill. But, no, the Stern Show, no, I'm saying about your experience in England.
Oh, yeah, I just said it reminded me of
The
it.
Zionist and all that had control of his TV show. He didn't want to do the TV show, so they would just they would film his radio show and take the segments out of context and stretch, like, see, the Howard Stern comedy is about, at times, he will beg women to come in the studio, or even when they come in the studio, he will ask them to take their clothes off, and they will tell him no. That's what's funny about it. No, not yes. They're shocked.
I've seen enough Howard Stern to know that they do take their clothes off. At least after their underwear.
It's a radio show.
Yeah, I've seen the stuff on the cable.
Do you know how often that happens? What you see on TV happens on that radio show? Never. It happens so not often on that show. They will stretch that stuff out for weeks on the TV show.
Okay.
It never happens. People they do that on purpose to give everybody the wrong idea because they hate him, just like they hated Lenny Bruce.
Well, I guess it gave me the wrong idea because I didn't watch it very often.
Yeah, I mean, I've often seen the TV show, and I've seen the show in question. I mean, I've heard the show in question, that they're showing on TV, and it's like night and day. They completely disconnect reality on the TV show, and he has no control over that. And he complains about it on his radio show. Like, why are you doing this? And clearly, there's a reason. And it's given all the women in the world this incredibly negative opinion of Howard Stern, and they've never heard the show. It's sick. Yeah, he used to have Sam Kinison come on, and Sam Kinison would talk about the New World Order.
Then maybe you should show him how to send a notice of intent and have him, sue them for.
I mean, this is a guy that rants about how much he hates Israel for hours. How much he hates Judaism. I mean, you can see why these Zionists are twist the show like that.
Meow. This stupid cat.
You have a cat?
It's my grandmother passed away, but it's actually my grandmother's cat. And I was out lighting the burn pile using a Fresnel lens, and it stepped between the Fresnel lens and what I was trying to light on fire, and burned a big wath of fur right off the side of his body, and just looked like what's going on. If I didn't move the Fresnel lens, if I didn't move the Fresnel lens, it was about half a second away from being fried. I have this giant Fresnel lens I retrieved from a flat screen TV, and I use it to start the fire because it's just, one, it's fun, and two, it saves on matches. It only takes a split second. I mean, you got something. You got a Fresnel lens it's about 3 foot by 4 foot, and anything that the beam of light touches is going to light on fire instantaneously, even if it's non-flammable. So.
I have a cat. He's the friendliest guy, and I would never set it on fire.
Well, he walked between me and what I was trying to light on fire. It's like. Just
I always watch out.
He's friendly.
Make sure he never gets really problems.
Yeah. Well. Anyway, he's got this. Right now, he's got this yellow spot in his white fur from where he singed himself. So.
Missions will never talk.
Anyway.
I have to hold him up on the camera a lot of times because he will not speak. He won't speak now. Holding up to the microphone, he won't say anything. Looking at the microphone, man. This is pathetic. Never talks. Yeah.
Was that him?
But no, he's
Oh.
a vicious monster.
Dude, I didn't even hear the real cat.
Come here, AJ. Come here. Come here. Speak to Vicious Monster.
Come on, No.
That's the great part of radio. Cats talk because they don't say anything.
They won't say anything, yeah. Yeah, you're comfy now, so you're not going to say anything. All right, that's what it boils down to. Okay, let's go for 5 minutes of listening for cats to speak. Yes.
Speak to me, Garfield. Speak to me. That's about the funniest Garfield strip I ever read. That was it.
I have to
Yeah.
put especially good music behind this show because
Yeah, I
all
have
this
to-
dead silence. I just can't get it together for the editing. Not editing, but the composite that I'm trying to do. I have this great track I've set up of all T-Rex.
Yeah.
But it's the acoustic Tyrannosaurus Rex. It's really
Yeah.
good stuff. I'm really
Yeah.
making the backing track.
Sides. They did like our album worth of B-sides, didn't they? Several albums worth. Depending what discography you've got, there's like 3 different alternative versions of each album they've got. They did like 3. No. It's
And I found out Mickey Finn was not
That's-
the original partner.
Okay.
Mickey Finn was the electric partner.
Yeah.
Let me try this out. I got this Politics Unlocked bailout,
No,
and it's
I
like
saw
right.
that. You showed me that. No,
J-
absolutely not.
Just
Do not play
just
with
one.
me.
Let's see what these idiots have to say.
No. No.
I just get a drink. Hang on. 10 minutes.
Absolutely not. The messages, the political messages. All politics is bad.
Well,
And no Caribbean critic. I mean, we could have had a useful, meaningful program, and where is he?
he went away.
No, he's smarter than us. He left. No, he's not. Yeah. I was just saying,
It said, "Be right back. Drinks."
Right. No, that's Maggot. It's not-
Yeah.
I never could get a valid answer on why he chose Maggot as a name.
Eh.
I mean, I guess he just thought that was a good one. Stuck with it. I don't know. I don't want people referring to me as Maggot. That'd be bad. You can pick your own Freeman name, so that's good.
I think that's more or less. I don't think that's the name that he wants to use. I think that's.
No, it is. It is the name he wants to use. But he does put his real name on the show, and both Don and he
Yeah.
have 4 names and beat me in length. I thought I could have the longest Freeman name, just with my own natural name, Estratios Constantine of the family Morades. But it turns out, with 4 names and double dashes, they beat my length. It's upsetting.
That's all right. Someday I'm going to have to get a second ID after I get the first one. Because when I get done with all this stuff with my children and my wife and things like that, I consider myself a Jensen. I mean, that's my mother's maiden name. That's the family that I was most associated with, through my childhood. So it'd be, basically what was put on my. I'm sorry.
How can you go to your own mother's maiden name?
What do you
You
mean?
can't do that, can you?
Why not?
I don't get it. Then she's like the Virgin Mary then?
It was her family I spent most of the time with.
Okay. But then
Yeah,
you have no
that's-
father then? You you've eliminated him from the picture. Now your father.
Well, he kind of eliminated himself a long time ago anyway. You know, he walked off. He's unfaithful to my mom and decided he preferred to go play around and things like that. So.
But that doesn't mean he doesn't exist. That's what I'm saying. By eliminating it, it's like now your mother is the Virgin Mary and your father is Jehovah. I mean, what are you trying to do here? I was immaculately deceived. Yes.
I associate myself more with the Jensen family. I'd keep you know the same last name I have, but it'd be dashed on with David Ray, so it'd be David Ray Harriet of the Jensen family.
Immaculate conception of David Ray.
Yeah, you can say that.
Not without my last name. A Lifetime Sunday movie.
And you are an angel.
That's right. Not without my last name. We're gonna make a Lifetime movie about this. It's gonna be great. Sally Field will be in it. Yeah.
Oh, great! Yeah.
Yeah. So you won't have.
Isn't she getting old now, though?
Well, no. For the Lifetime Network, this is perfect because that's all they want to see. Like you wouldn't appear in it.
Okay.
See how this would work. Why would you? It would be a Lifetime movie. They don't want to see you unless you would have to be beating up a woman to be in the show. They have very specific standards on the Lifetime Network. You know, the man can only be seen as bad.
Okay.
Yeah, or you'd have to be an Iranian, and by Sharia law, you'd be holding the children against their will. It's like the Not Without My Daughter network.
You know what? I guess I just don't watch enough TV.
Well, it's the Lifetime Movie Network. They have a special network of just movies where women are victims all the time, even if it doesn't make sense.
You know what's funny is, this TV that my mom has broke about 3-4 weeks ago, and we actually haven't missed it.
I broke the iPod, and I'm sitting here weeping. I broke the iPod.
Are you?
I gotta send it to get there.
I don't know.
I really love this iPod.
Oh, I can't stand them.
Oh, I have the iPod Touch 2G, and it's bad. I mean,
Now, you unlocked yours, right?
Oh, God, yeah.
You unlocked yours? Yeah, because... Jailbreak. Because one of the things I really can't stand about them is that my daughter got one for her birthday, and she goes to put music on it, right?
But you can't get the music back.
Yeah, she can't get it back, and you know.
You can get the music
but she
back.
Can't. Yeah, but she can't. She can't get it back.
Not officially.
Once she's put it on there, she can't get it back. You know, it's like, but it's my music.
Apple designs stuff properly, and the entertainment industry, who runs the iTunes Music Store, has a gun to Apple's head. Apple didn't do this to anyone. Apple designed it properly. When you see it jailbroken, you see how much fun it was intended to be. It's because the entertainment industry, Apple is the largest seller of music ever.
Okay.
And so, because Tower Records is dead, you know, the music in the store, there's almost nowhere to go to buy music. So, that much pressure and that much, they're trying to force a situation where they're trying to enforce unbreakable commercial software and unstealable music.
Well, that ain't gonna happen.
Right, and the thing is, it's not illegal to steal the music, so because of the way that Jack Valenti wrote the law is on purpose. So the whole thing is
It's not illegal to steal the music.
Right. No, the music industry and the entertainment industry have these crazy websites that Ars Technica likes to point you to so that you can see how ludicrous it is.
Mm-hmm.
They would like let's say you pick me up in the car and I would bring out my disc of music that I bought from the store.
Yeah.
This is in the future that they would like to have. I have purchased it, so it's okay for me to listen to it. But in your disc player, it's not authorized for me to play my discs in your music. So there'd be like a credit card scanner on your stereo, and I'd have to or you'd have to pay to allow my disc to be played on your player. I mean, this is after the DIVX thing happened.
I know.
Do you
It's
know why
really.
things are-
Whatever happened to fair use?
No, do you know what? Do you know why the hackers named DIVX DIVX? Because there was something
No.
from Best Buy and Circuit City. It was called the DIVX DVD player, and it was for discs that were the rental that you own. Like you would buy a copy of The Godfather.
Oh, I remember those. Yeah.
And then 3 plays later,
And
you
then
can't play anymore, and you have to pay money to play it again. It had
Right.
no limit. So just to bury the concept forever, the public contemptuously rejected the original player. And the new DIVX player is something completely different, but it was named that to get rid of the old concept so that you would never know what that was. Because it was that bad of an idea. And these jerks in the entertainment industry,
They're trying to revive it.
That will return. So they can just forget that. You know?
So if I haven't bothered with iPod or anything like that, but you know I've got a bigger library of MP3s, WMAs, and FLACs and apes and all that rubbish.
You can play MP3s. You can
Yeah.
play FLACs. It doesn't do that, but you can convert them to MP3s.
But if I put them onto the iPod, will I have to bother with all the copyright restriction rubbish?
No.
Okay.
No. That's the editor. We were just talking about this. You
Yeah.
just came back from getting something to drink.
Yeah. So
But that's what my daughter's dealing with.
Under their head.
yeah.
I've given her MP3s of things. She's put them on her iPod. She cannot get them back to any other computer but her own.
Well, you have to set it so it synchronizes. You don't want it to do that manual management. You want to do synchronized. So what you do is you make a special playlist and you tell it synchronize this playlist with the iPod. So you have a copy in your iTunes. See how that works? And then you always have a copy of your music. You don't just put it into the black hole.
I tell you what, when she comes out here this summer, I'll let her have you explain it to her.
No, on iTunes it says, would you like to manually manage this stuff or do it by synchronization? And so you set up an iTunes that you're going to be matched with this iPod. And then whatever is in this, if you make a big playlist of however much memory you've got on that, however much flash memory is on there, and you set yourself a playlist, and then it synchronizes. Because you would have more music in your iTunes than you would have in your iPod. So you just set what would go on there, and you have a video playlist too, and you synchronize that too. I feel like we're sponsored by Apple or something, but
Yeah. All I know is I like my sound so a lot better than yeah.
But there's been all this positioning against Apple because of this deal with the devil, the Jews in the entertainment industry who control the iTunes music store. So screw that. You don't play that game.
Yeah.
And anyway, when you see it jailbroken, you see that it's made right. But even unjailbroken, you can get this to me. If you synchronize, you don't have this problem. And you play MP3s, you don't have this problem.
Yeah, I didn't see the big fuss though. I mean, why don't you just get an MP3 player with massive amount of memory on it?
No, because the iPod, especially jailbroken, the apps are fantastic. You can do Skype. You can do Skype out.
Yeah, I almost bought one of the.
It plays MAME. It plays Nintendo.
I saw the apps. I thought, hey, this looks pretty cool. And then I saw that, the way they limit how you put them in and such.
Yeah. That's the entertainment.
And it's like, well, the heck with this. Anything that makes itself proprietary, forget it.
No, it doesn't. iTunes is the best music player. It's the iTunes store you have to shun.
Yeah.
Of course you have to shun the iTunes music store.
iTunes
we
store.
shun the entertainment industry. They're evil and wrong. But Apple doesn't control that. And so you just don't deal with that. I don't consent. But the rest of it is fine. And the thing about the iPod is what the big secret is. It's a little Unix computer. Especially jailbroken. Like when I started the show the other day, that last Friday, I was out with my father. I couldn't get back in time. And so I started it from his iPhone out at Skyline Chili. We were sitting there eating lunch. And we couldn't get back in time. So I started the show by remote. I logged onto my computer and did it. I mean, that's what that thing does. And I'm just weeping here that I've cracked the screen and broken it. I sprayed some liquid trying to get the...
You exchanged it.
ruined it.
Yeah. I turned it to death,
It
folks.
came with this liquid to get it on there, and I sprayed it directly on there, so some liquid apparently got in there and screwed it up. So then I tried to pull the screen off, and I cracked the screen. And now it won't come
Great.
on right. But it wouldn't come on right before because of the water.
Nasty.
Well, that's what, about $300-400 down this journey?
Yeah, no, it's actually repairable according to this guy on eBay. So I'm going to send it for like $20 and get it repaired.
Okay.
That includes the new screen. But I can't believe I made it worse by trying to get the screen out. I don't consent. But I don't consent to water getting in it either. I don't know. Just looking at it gives me a horrible headache. I love the thing so much, and it bothers me that I broke it. It's my fault.
Oh, you might have had this one already. I remember I posted links to it on when I was like when I was in the Joshua's chat room. Yeah. What he did is he'd like quote from people who did things in the chat room, and so I did like about several hundred news items on that sort of show basically by proxy sort of thing. So I post a news item in the chat room and he'd read it out and stuff. That would have been good. Before he made up the story about his mum or grandmum dying and trying to blame me for it or whatever. I was just... But anyhow, this article, that's the intro for this article I'm going to read out. Teen sex bracelet sparked controversy. Have you heard? Yeah. Wait a minute, I just got to finish this battle off. Basically, okay, Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. I'll give you a link to it. It's basically these coloured bracelets says what sort of sex you're available for, and they give it out to children. Yeah, they give it out to children, and yeah.
Sex bracelet? I didn't know what you were saying. I didn't get it.
Yeah.
Sex bracelet. I finally saw it. And so, what does the bracelet signify? The readiness to take part in sexual activity?
Yep. There's like one for oral, one for anal, one for group, one for...
What?
Yeah. One for flashing. Yeah, so every sort of sexual activity, you got a different colour bracelet for it. Okay. Rio de Janeiro. Yeah, I think so. They might have taken it off. Light pink. The boy must.
The wrong bracelet by accident, perhaps.
Yeah.
Someone went with the idea.
Yeah, a horrible shock. Yeah, light pink. The boy must give oral sex.
Wait, the what? The boy?
Yeah, have you got the link to the thing?
Yeah, I don't get this at all, and I think it's wrong.
Yeah, I have to start from the beginning. Okay, Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. A teenage craze is sweeping Brazil that gives sexual meaning to coloured bracelets. The innocent-looking accessories became popular at the end of last year in Britain. Now they've reached Brazil. Well, I'd never even heard of them over here, actually. No, I mean, when I sort of reported on it, it was happening in America.
They look like those rubber bands that they've been wearing with the different words on them.
Yeah. Yeah, sort of like the ones you get when you go swimming. I don't know if you have them over there, but they give you like
bracelets. I'm on the wrong planet. Do you think I'm on the wrong planet? I really think that I've landed somewhere. I'm on the wrong planet. This is not where I'm from. I don't. The colored bracelets?
Yeah. The colour of the bracelets.
And you said earlier that if somebody said that they saw aliens, that is proof that they were insane.
Well, I mean, but tell me about the colored bracelets again.
Okay. The colour of the bracelet signifies the wearer's readiness to take part in sexual activity. If someone wears the bracelet, someone breaks the bracelet, sorry, it means the breaker gets the sexual reward.
Wait 1 second.
The bracelet craze hit the news in Brazil when a 13-year-old girl was reportedly raped by 3 boys. People say it's because of the bracelets, so public schools have banned them.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Ready?
Why don't you... Yeah.
So that's like saying the victim is guilty.
Well, yeah, I mean, it sounds totally wacky, doesn't it? Because
So
like,
she's basically... Because you can go to like a Christian bookstore and get these bracelets, and they'll say things like chastity or what would Jesus do or something like that on there, right? And they're different colors.
Yeah.
And so this is saying is people are taking that as a license to say that that's...
Actually,
so this girl got raped because she wore the wrong color.
Yeah.
Yeah, hold on a minute. You talked all the way through
It's
my
insane,
question.
isn't it? Because, like,
So now they're banning them in the school, so they're saying the victim is guilty. You're no longer allowed to do this thing because you might get raped.
Thank God.
Yeah.
He's like,
Exactly.
excuse me,
I've got the clip.
take a gun and blow out the brains of the 3 boys who raped the girl. You know, that, I'm sorry, you know.
Are you
Rape is rape regardless of the excuse.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay, I killed the air.
No, just waiting for the thing to load.
Now, if someone breaks the bracelet, it means the breaker gets the sexual reward. Now, the craze made headlines in Rio de Janeiro when a 13-year-old girl was reportedly raped by 3 boys. Police say it's because of the bracelets, so now public schools there have banned them.
How about these?
So what city put out that news report?
Well, what's Rock doing? Oh, he's living with his mother.
I'll get in Rio de Janeiro. I don't actually have that link to the thing.
He's gone.
So obviously you got it off
It
the
says from
NBC.
NBC News.
Yeah.
And so that was broadcast here in the United States. So now they're going to start having crackdowns on the colored bracelets here in the United States. Is what it boils down to.
Uh-huh.
And it has nothing to do with Rio de Janeiro. It might not have even really happened there.
I know, there's so much lies in this article because they're saying about how it's in like usual in the UK, and I've never heard anything about it. I've never seen anybody wearing sex bracelets or shag bands, as they call
Well,
them.
no, that's the point of the article. They're not sex bracelets. They're these stupid colored bracelets that people wear. The rubber bands, basically.
Yeah.
They usually have like a word or something like that written on them.
Yeah.
Okay. And
now
so
people
this is
are
like
reinterpreting them as sex bracelets and
Yeah.
using them as an excuse for rape. Yeah, that's the impression I was getting. It's like so easy to get confused. It's like gangs and stuff. Like you want to wear the right colour clothes, and if you're in one gang's area, and you walk out of that boundary, and you get shot to pieces because like you're wearing the wrong colour clothes. So it's sort of like mentality.
See, my kids would go to school, and the school would send them back because they wore the wrong colors. I'd send it back to school. I said, wear whatever color you want.
Yeah.
You know, and send it back to school. You know, the only exception to that was my daughter because we got her into a private school, and there was rules for entering the private school. So, you know, you're consenting to the rules when you go, when you're going for something that you're choosing.
Yeah.
You know, but if you're not consenting to the rules, if they're forcing you to go to their public schools, well, then, kick my kids out then. I don't care. They get a better education at home anyway. Shoot.
Yeah, you don't need any risk of getting raped because of wearing wrong clothes or bracelets.
Yeah, because somebody's wearing the wrong color bracelet.
It is ridiculous. I don't believe a word of it myself. It's just so ridiculous. Police say it's because of the bracelets that this 13-year-old girl was reportedly raped by 3 boys. So public schools banned them. One educator said parents should also talk to their children about that bracelets. Yeah. Some girls the bad is too extreme, and they were going to keep wearing them. Sex bracelets are the latest craze amongst Brazilian teenagers. A successful friendship bracelet, these cheap-coloured wristbands are linked to raise sexual behaviour. While it was initially supposed to be a bit of innocent fun, the game has recently turned into a nightmare for one teenage girl. The plastic accessories are already common in the UK, where there is no shag bands. I said already, I don't believe words. They are basically an invitation to collect sexual favours. Each colour symbolises sexual act from a simple hug to an actual intercourse. if somebody manages to rip off a bracelet, that is just something ridiculous. You know, so you can imagine that in the street, walking down the street, like they're wearing like pink or whatever, and you see somebody run up to them, rip it off. It's like everybody's thinking it's assault.
That's assault right there.
I know, everybody sees it's assault. It's like if you talk about 13-year-old girls and stuff, and somebody does that to a 13-year-old girl, everybody would see that as assault and say, what the heck, you know, you're playing that sort of thing, just like grab them. Anyway, according to the article, if someone manages to rip off a bracelet, they are supposed to be rewarded with the following sexual acts. Yellow kiss, I can see that happening in a public street, okay. Pink girl moustache her breasts, purple French kissing, red lap dance, again, in a park or a street, I can really see that happening. Whatever girl wants. Okay, so somebody comes up and looks like they mug you, they mug you basically, everybody's appearance, and the girl goes whatever she wants. Like, she want a bracelet back. Blue blowjob, again in the street. You know, especially if the girls are under 5 years old, yeah. Like pink, the boy must give you all sex. That's wrong men then. Black regular, of course. Gold, all of the above. Yeah. If you got gold, it's all of the above. So you got to do all of them. That's it. It's just total bollocks. I mean,
this article has listed all the stuff when they really shouldn't have listed any of it. In other words, they put down
Yeah.
In other words, they put down rules for all stuff. You know,
it's telling you what to look for. They're telling you what to look for. And you see some stupid new age girl. I mean, define bracelet is anything goes on the arm. You know. Yeah, it doesn't have to be like the ones that you described, like the words. It's anything. You know, like bangles, things. It's just stupid. Sex bracelets came to public attention April 30 years ago. I have never heard of a girl who had sex, somebody snapped her band. I'm surprised. It's more like no, it's okay. The rest of the quote from a judge called Joel Carlos Moira or something. He judged the state ran Hale in Brazil, ran Hale. And he said this game is popular with teens between age 15 and 18-year-old. My brothers has already used sex bracelets. The bands are really cheap, cost one real 50 euro set for a pack of 10, and you can find them absolutely everywhere. But the wearer is not forced to do any sexual favour. Surprise! It's just stupid. It does like some pervert fantasy. And it's ridiculous. You get some hunchback, like middle-aged fart come off your rip your hand. You know, take off your bracelet. You're somehow supposed to have sex on the spot.
Oh, that's so sick.
It is. Just leave it top shelf magazines, would you? That doesn't really happen.
Alright.
And she's 18 years old.
Okay, I'll carry on with this quote. I've never heard of girl.
Let's go on to some other subject.
Yeah, it's just. He says many girls only wear them because they find it pretty. But it's obviously something. I can't really see that happening. I can't see that happening in the UK anyway. And I quote that article about 4 months ago. It was even more ridiculous. It went massive details like about 15 different categories.
Give the name of the person who issued this report. We should send them a notice of understanding and intent.
I think it says NBC News, so it's one of those circular. Yeah. So I don't know who wrote it. It is. It's just ridiculous. I imagine that judge put in there to sound more credible. I doubt it's really a judge called whatever his name was. Yeah, look around.
Were you really interviewed by his agents? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's not what you said?
Yeah.
You told them to pull off and leave you alone?
Yeah. Yeah. It's like obviously judges with Mexican sounding names are always going about their children's sex lives in public. Yeah, it's just like total, but it's like one of those articles that keeps coming again and again. I think it's just sort of crap that James might read out.
Gut folks, disgusting.
Shift put any other news articles. But to get that one out of the way, anyway.
Okay.
Where is Lenny? He's asleep. There's... This is going to be the most exciting show of all time. Is this like squeaky noise in the background?
Hello. I can't get anything to work.
Uh,
I can't get anything to work. Can you hear me at all?
yeah, I can hear you now. Is that what it was? It was just like 2 or 3 minutes of embarrassing silence. I was just still bored on it.
Is it working now?
Well, I can hear you talking. I can hear it's like whistling in the background like a kettle.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not working. I'm having like a total audio meltdown.
Really?
Yeah.
I just thought it was nobody had anything to say.
No. I mean, it's...
Oh.
Where's the Caribbean critic to save us?
I know. We're only 2 hours into the show.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah, that sex bracelet, so that was just like made up or something. I don't believe it.
It has to be.
It's just
I don't know
ridiculous.
what they think they're doing with this stuff.
Yeah, I was just giving you real life examples how that actually works. That's what I do.
They're creating the fad. They're creating the situation themselves.
Yeah, it's all fantasy as well. They're trying to make it into reality, but it is. It's just ridiculous. You can't imagine that happening in real life, though. It's just so stupid. A 7-year-old girl walking by herself and she's got like a black bracelet on, and like, you know, say in London or whatever, somebody comes up to her because it's saying it's all the rage in the UK. Some like middle-aged mugger runs up to her, rips the bracelet off, and she starts having sex with him. You know, it's just no. That's sort of like, you know, top shelf.
So unlikely. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just demented. It's ridiculous. And then at the bottom they were trying to have it justified by having a judge, you know, like judge
With a Mexican
talking
sounding name, that was the point
Yeah.
of that.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, discredit the Mexicans while you're at it, sort of thing. Yeah. basically talking about his children's sex life. You know, what sort of judge would say that? None of them are that stupid. They wouldn't even say they have children.
Well, that's because they have that Sotomayor, who she will do any crazy thing that they tell her.
Okay.
I mean, she is really insane. She's I mean, she is certifiable. I mean,
She's not one of these like whack jobs that's like, I don't know, judge and porn star or some crap like that.
No, they're making her a Supreme Court justice or something. I mean, she is just so far out there it isn't funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they've got that. I don't know what country it is, but one of the prime ministers or something is also a porn actress.
Oh, I
It's just,
don't know about that.
yeah. I don't think it's Sweden, but it's somewhere in the Netherlands, I think. It's just, oh, come on. You know, how many people are in the world? You know, do you really have to have a fucking porn star as a prime minister? It's just so lame.
What country is that?
I'll see it. I'll have to find it.
And it'll be something like Singapore or something, you know, it'll just be something...
No, it's European.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always hypocritical. I mean, it'll be, you know, something like that just to be that.
Yeah. Yeah, whatever it is, if the country will be a complete joke.
I can't switch microphones.
Oh well, I found a mildly interesting article by Duck anyway. Belgian king seeks to defuse the political crisis. April the 23rd, 2010. It's not too far in the past. Brussels, Reuters. Belgian king Albert sought to resolve a standoff between Dutch and French-speaking parties on Friday and revive Prime Minister Yves Leterme's government. Leterme, I think, 49, tendered his resignation on Thursday after his 5-month-old coalition collapsed. But the king did not immediately accept, hoping to avoid a crisis that could have damaged its fragile economy and Belgium's standing in Europe. Belgian media said King Albert effectively had until Monday, when party officials meet to set Parliament's agenda, to persuade the Flemish Liberal Party, Open VLD, sounds like a venereal disease, to return to the government. The ruling coalition groups, 5 parties from centre-left to centre-right, Open VLD said it had lost faith in the coalition over a failure to resolve a dispute between French and Dutch-speaking parties and over electoral boundaries around the capital, Brussels, but it subsequently opened the door to return.
I don't understand the news anymore.
Yeah, I know, it kind of waffles on a bit. If Leterme cannot revive his government, then dissolving Parliament and calling elections within 40 days appears the only remaining options. Have you got anything on there has been big riots in Greece, 3 people got killed in the banks? Did you hear anything about that? I can look it up. But yeah, there were 3 people died in the banks in Greece. Wait, Greek bank, right, I'm looking up.
I don't know.
Yeah, because there's been riots in Greece, and they rioted in a bank, and 3 bank workers got killed. And also they're saying after the election, whoever wins the election is going to inherit debt as bad as Greece's. That's in the UK. Okay, Greek Parliament votes in favour of austerity measures. This is updated about 15 minutes ago, by the sounds of it. Greece's Parliament has approved the hefty cuts and reforms proposed by the government to address the country's financial crisis. It's BBC News, bbc.co.uk. Members voted 172 to 121 to pass the bill, which includes tax rises and cuts in pensions and public sector bonuses. Yeah, because they were putting these massive cuts, billions and billions. I don't know, 17 billion or something, and they were doing it. Yeah, Greek Finance Minister George Papakonstantinou has warned Greece is 2 weeks away from defaulting on part of its debt. Bonds worth 8.5 billion euros, that's $12 billion, 7.2 billion pounds, fall due on May the 19th. We have not done what was necessary, not what was easy. We have done what was necessary, not what was easy. Okay. Without these measures, we'll be thrown into the deepest recession this country has ever known. He warned that the only way for the country to avoid bankruptcy was to take out a 110 billion euro, that's 142 billion dollars, and 95 billion pounds bailout from the European Union and the International Monetary Fund, contingent on the 3-year austerity programme. These measures will mean a freeze on public sector pay until 2014. The average retirement will rise by 2 years, and VAT will go up from 19% to 23%. I don't know why is Greece's economy collapsed so suddenly. I know it was like threatening to. It's like just seems to like like they've got no money. And the good news is they're planning on bringing it over. I can hear you now.
They've done this on purpose, like they did Iceland.
Yeah.
And they're revolting against the New World Order, the European Union, the Lisbon Treaty, and things like that. And because they were writing in like about let's say like 5 months ago, now they're collapsing the economy to punish them. I assume.
This article was like posted a few minutes ago. It's quite up to date.
Yeah, I mean, they were writing in December.
Yeah. So it's been like
that, and they were mischaracterizing the United States about it being about a police incident.
Yeah.
But that was not what it was about when he went, and I used Google Translator to translate the articles, and from their news, and it was about the Lisbon Treaty. It was about the European Union.
Yeah.
And globalization. They don't want that. And in America, they would mischaracterize the story completely.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'll post you a link.
In America, we get no news at all. I mean, everything is a lie.
I got you. I thought you might be quite interested in that one.
No, I'm not. We're not interested in that at all because that's not our people at all. It might as well be Italy.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I mean, we're from Asia Minor, not from Greece.
Okay.
That country of Greece had a Habsburg king.
Yeah.
For some unknown reason.
Yeah. Because I think it was Belgium has got the stupid porn star prime minister. You see, and I was looking up at that. Yeah, that's why I had the Belgian king thing.
I don't. They're just contriving news to create policy.
Yeah.
And that's the real goal here. I mean, there are repeated examples of people that I knew who would try to help somebody who they'd see in the local news, and then find out that it was a shill situation to pass legislation. That it wasn't really a real news story. It was just a lie.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Yeah. Oh, that's it. Yeah, no, to get people to come over to the country and then find out it was a lie. The story was a lie.
Well, I mean, I'm talking about local news even. Local news is a lie. You wouldn't believe what goes on here.
Yeah.
The news is completely fake.
Uh-huh.
Like, let's say you bombed a building here in America. I don't think they covered it.
No.
No, I mean, and that's how false the news is. It would have to be a completely staged event, and then a patsy out front and legislation ready to go. It has to fit the pattern before they cover it. And like, because other people have tried to bring local news stories to like the local papers and things like that, nothing. They see it as an advertisement. If you'd like to pay them to run it. The rest of the news is done to try to it's like we're seeing 1984.
Well, yeah, I don't think even 1984 got that involved with this. I suppose it is. It's the Ministry of Truth.
The job was to rewrite the newspapers so that the news always agreed with what the current events were, so that you couldn't go back and find old news stories about things that had happened in the past that contradicted what the policy was now.
Yeah, that's it. So it's like it's always been Big Brother sort of thing.
Yeah. But yeah, if you create a phony situation all the time, then it always seems like it's a good idea to do whatever is done.
Yeah. Oh no, that's a few years back. It was quite funny, that article, but I read it. It's too old.
I just want out. I really do think I'm for another place. Just this one has become so inhospitable.
It's just so crazy. But yeah, people's obsessions with things. It's like there is one of the prime ministers or something is a porn star, and it's just so.
It's not people's obsession. The news, the media is owned by one group.
Yeah.
The Jews. One group, and that's their obsessions. With bodily actions, with things
I
like
see.
that. I mean, what
Yeah,
business do they have with this stuff?
Yeah, it's not even so clever that they're thinking, oh, because most people won't measure up to porn stars' standards, you know, not physically fit enough. And and I said they won't measure up. It's not really clever like that, like because they want to make everybody feel like joiks and stuff. Because like anybody can get into porn. That's the other thing I don't get is why they make such a fuss about it. But it's it's to get everybody interested in porn. It's just like, you know, if they could get away with having a Star of Israel or something on the Prime Minister's head, they'd do it.
Right.
It's just PR for their own. Yeah. They're the dignified people behind the cameras and all the porn snuff movies.
Right. So they would never portray themselves that way. I just went out. You know what I mean?
Just now.
And that was my goal here with the World Freeman, but it's just so offensive that I just went completely out.
Just keep on finding out how stupid people are. That's what I always find. I try to ignore it.
Listen, happy to help other people find these problems to get them out there. It's just so offensive. The world we live in is very offensive. I just can't stand where things have become.
Ooh, and Spain feels pain as recession bites. And then it says, could the UK face the same problems?
I mean, you can't go by mainstream news.
No.
And then, people like my parents who know I don't have the TV hooked up wonder how I'm able to know all the details about a story and get it right.
Yeah.
Not just not know the details, but have the right spin on it.
Yeah.
It's because I listen to all these other shows.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have the TV hooked up. We have free cable in this building. And I still don't know. I mean, at one point, the cable guy had to come here and fix something. And he said that I'm the only one he believed wasn't cheating on cable. Because of the number of tests.
Yeah.
Just really do that. I have the DIVX player where the real DIVX, not that dark case. Where it's for 6 discs, or 6 movies to a disc, or 12 TV shows, or more. It also plays flashbacks.
Yeah.
And now it's every brand, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
It was just Philips.
Yeah.
So I mean, how these players only play Lake Finals. You can't buy movies in the AVI wrapper with DIVX or X-Videos and Kodak. They don't sell. So what are these players for? Is it entrapment in some way? No. Well, the reality is, if the stuff changes hands for free, according to the way that Valenti wrote the laws, it's perfectly acceptable. Nobody paid it. But I hate the phony entrapment. They always get some single mother or something like that who go in and plead guilty after the cable company accuses her of having her 13-year-old download movies. Nobody's ever been prosecuted for this when they do me. But not guilty. It's never happened. I mean, that would be a new story. I not guilty. That's not
Yeah, it's sad.
See, the thing
Yeah.
is, it's like we can defend against this stuff. But it's just like you're on a ship and there's endless attacks coming at you.
Mhm,
Eventually, even though you can defend them one at a time, it's just there's so many.
Yeah. You're on a ship, but there's somebody on the outside with a steel rod poking holes. Yeah, poking holes. The water comes through, and they never change.
They will change. It must be stopped. These people must be removed from our society. This whole
Yeah. Well, they just want everybody to be brought down to the level of like the lowest pleb in mentality.
Forget it.
Yeah.
And they can forget it in America because even our dumbest, most uninformed people are armed.
Mhm.
That's what I really bet on is the uninformed. I mean, we know everything. We're going to hold back a little bit. They're going to get shot by women. They're going to get shot. That's who's armed in America. Everybody.
Yeah.
By the time I hear the news, it's on delay. I'll be hearing it late.
Mm.
I don't get it immediately
Yeah.
because I don't have the TV on.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. People.
I don't rush out
Yeah.
to the store. I mean, let them put the thumb scan in there. See what happens. It won't
Yeah,
be me
yeah.
that gets you first. The place will be. I'll be running in to get some milk or something and find everybody dead and find out they were thumb scanners. I missed it.
Yeah. More likely to be a hillbilly or something, isn't it? Yeah.
I mean, nobody's going to put up with it under any circumstances. They don't have to know the whole story or any
Yeah.
part of it.
Yeah.
If someone wants to push tyranny on them in America, they're not going to put up with it.
Yeah. Because they've over-civilized your civilian mass, like in your towns and cities. You're coming over civil, you're too aware of like your rights and your laws and stuff, and you don't just like hit out.
No.
Because there's not. I was saying it the other day, but you can have all these laws and regulations and statutes and doctrines and all this sort of rubbish, but they can't actually physically stop you in response. You can have like thou shalt not kill, but that can't actually physically prevent you from killing somebody if they attack you, sort of thing. They're only words written up after the event. So yeah, I mean, somebody who just lashes out, it doesn't matter how many men in black masks or whatever they've got, they done it already, and if it's a whole gang of them and they all just like strike out against it like a rebellion.
Well, but even worse, we have all these people in America who are on SSRI drugs. Many of whom are becoming homeless, so they'll be drifting off the drugs. You can't take a sudden dosage change on an SSRI drug, or it's time to rip the arms off the baby.
Yeah.
But if there's no baby, it's time to rip the arms off the cop.
Yeah.
I mean, they're in a manic rage because their Xanax has run out. And it's not their fault. You know what I mean? It's the SSRI drugs do weird things to your mind. It blocks up the drain so serotonin can't get out. They're inhibitors.
Yeah, sure.
So I mean there's this website ssristories.com, and it shows you some fantastic lists of people and what drug they were on. Artie Lang from the Stern Show's on it twice.
Yeah.
He had they were trying to charge him with DUI, but he wasn't on anything. Famously, I mean, this guy's a famous heroin addict. He's off the drugs, and it was because of the I can't think of the name of the drug. It's one of those, like one of those mood elevators.
I think it's the one called Zovirax or something, or is that another one? I never take them. I just totally avoid them.
But
IG
the
Farb.
second time he's on the story is why he's not on the Stern Show now. Or he may be back by now, but probably not. He tried to kill himself with a 13-inch Wolfgang Puck knife, carving.
Yeah.
And the newspaper detailed that the first couple wounds were those hesitation type wounds, and the other ones were dead serious. He was trying to kill himself. And it's these stupid drugs. So imagine, put the thumb scans in. America's practically homeless. People can't afford these crazy drugs anyway. They're going to be on varying dosages of SSRI drugs on top of this.
So they would be like bloodthirsty zombies.
And they're armed. Yeah.
That's what the zombie movies are based on. Is
They screwed themselves by the situation. I mean, already people aren't going to put up with tyranny, but let them be on these drugs.
Yeah.
They'll happily cut your arms off.
Yeah, it would just be like a zombie movie.
Don't worry about me. Worry about the people you've medicated.
And they'll have that problem as long as they keep on feeding them people SSRI drugs as well.
Right, it won't stop. There's no therapy. Psychiatry is a fraud anyway, but
Yeah.
it's all been hijacked by the drug companies in America. I mean, if you like, I've been to my parents' house where they want to watch the news. Every ad is a drug company ad.
Yeah.
And half the children are on these drugs.
Yeah, I can imagine it. I never got into it because I never took Mildol stuff or anything like that because it's some IG Farben. They all came out of the death camps in Germany,
Right.
and they're all used to mind control like anybody in the death camps, probably including the guards. Make them docile and meek and everything else. And yeah, and you just basically just give them government, the right to use your brain sort of thing. My mum was on a lot of like that crap, and she had a big medicine chest, and she was always off her head. Just total couldn't reason with her, talk to her. She just seemed to walk around a daze most of the time, just really sort of weird. And I reported on her to various people, and they just really couldn't do anything about it, and they just change her medication or something.
Yeah, they give you a second medication to get rid of the side effects from this one.
Yeah, they just change the medication.
You're not really mentally ill anyway. But it's
And
all
usually-
about you're crazy in America. People always
Yeah.
declare each other crazy.
Yeah. Well, that's it. I think it's a slippery slope as well. If you're a mum or something, you might take painkillers because of the pregnancy, and then when you're actually giving birth, they put you on painkillers. So perhaps they put on antidepressants as well, and then I know it's a sort of like a pyramid of addiction.
Another thing here is, rather than deal with something, they'd rather give you a drug. That's why I really like this Freeman thing. Is it's about becoming an adult, whereas these drugs are about keeping you as a child forever. Don't deal with it. Take Lexapro.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I haven't resolved the issue. I've drugged myself, so I'm happy.
Yeah. You can tell as well with people if they've got a limit, and you can tell the way that they're behaving because they're fighting against something inside them. They can't get very angry, and they can't get very sad, and they can't express themselves. Their emotional range is reduced. It's kept within a parameter, so in other words, it's controlled. I've heard of kids in the hall. Wasn't that?
They used
Probably
the
too.
insanity method where they were writing themselves and all that stuff. And they had John Blanchard directing. They were just trying to make a loose theme like Monty Python had for the movie, and it turned out to have a serious message just by accident. I mean, it wasn't their intention. Even they said it. They couldn't believe that it was correct.
Yeah.
I mean, that was not their plan. I mean, these people were writing silly skits. But it was called Brain Candy, and it was about a drug that made you happy,
Yeah.
but that eventually put you in a coma. Because you were locked into your happiest moment.
Yeah.
But instead of dealing with the problem, they had parades with the people who were in a coma on floats.
Yeah.
They were wax figures.
Sure.
And so, another way to not deal with issues.
Yeah. I mean, it's opium. Which has that effect. Substance D in that movie, A Scanner Darkly, that was the same sort of thing.
I mean, maybe you should be happy and sad at alternate time, because you've won the race. The foot race. I'm happy. I had a setback or something, then I'm upset.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a concept of in the psychiatry bullshit about appropriate to circumstances. Sometimes there are appropriate reactions to circumstances that they may not like. They'll declare you crazy again. I mean, how about it is appropriate circumstances? Maybe I should be mad at this. You know what I mean? Or I should be happy at this. But if I'm so medicated, drugged up, I think you have the wrong reaction situation.
You just have a muted reaction to everything, except for everything that you think is positive. It's like being on sugar or something. Yeah. Yeah, I know, but I've always thought that part of being human is having access to the whole range of emotions, and if you depressed...
They will lock stuff off and criminalize it.
Yeah. And depression is just another emotion. It's also sort of an acceptance of reality as well. So I'd never take drugs to get myself out of it. I smoke weed, but it's such small amounts.
It's
I just did it for fun. Didn't do it to make myself happy or anything stupid like that. I just wanted to have amazing trips, but I only had a few.
I actually have ADD, and I saved my own life through cost savings.
Yeah.
Where I was wondering why Jones and whatever would rail against Ritalin.
Mhm.
They would start to rail against ADD because it turns out all the remedies for it are SSRI drugs except for one, Dexedrine. They have the benzamphetamine, the dextroamphetamine, and then that new methamphetamine made out of drain cleaner.
Yeah.
Well, all the other ones block up the serotonin. They're serotonin reuptake inhibitors. Well, Dexedrine is half the price of Ritalin, so I switched in the 80s. So I feel that cutting the arms off the baby is an unacceptable side effect.
Yeah.
Or I haven't had any problems with those. And there's no dosage problem. I've stayed on the same amount exactly.
Yeah.
Even, everything is even. And
Yeah.
you have normal moods.
Yeah.
If you're upset, you're upset. You're happy, you're happy. It's up to the events that are going on around you.
Yeah. It's more like neurochemically balanced.
Yeah, with Ritalin, you're all screwed up. It's just another SSRI like all the others.
Yeah.
So that Jones is correct in that case to be railing against that because it's a bad thing. But
Mhm.
when he starts to make it out that ADD itself is not true, that was done to me by vaccines and mercury.
Yeah, sure.
And when I've gone off the drug, well,
Yeah.
I don't rip the arms off any baby, but and I'm not upset, but I go right back into the ADD symptoms.
Yeah, sure.
Even 40. This is
Yeah.
about what it is it's a slow brain metabolism.
Okay.
So and the instant effect of Dexedrine and these other drugs is not what you want. It takes 15 days to speed up your brain to even you can speed up your body's metabolism, but your brain's metabolism goes a lot slower. It's like a small wheel hooked to a big wheel.
Yeah.
So to get it to move at all takes I go off the drug. It takes 15 days to spin off of it before I go back to the ADD symptoms. I mean, I go back a little at a time during the 15 days, but it doesn't instantly solve it, and it doesn't instantly cure it. It's very slow. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm sounding like Tom.
I've taken painkillers, but I used to anyway, but I've just totally stopped taking them. I haven't done them.
I've never been into that. Even when I got my wisdom teeth out, which was a mistake.
No.
All that stuff, I just Advil.
Yeah, I just take them for fun, but they weren't that good. They didn't really have much of an effect on me.
Yeah, I really worry about the SSRI population.
Yeah, it is. You've got like a zombie, bloodthirsty zombie cult ready to go.
And I wondered why everything is zombies now. They really are. They're pushing zombies like this.
Yeah.
It's not just the one movie. They're really pushing zombies. Well, they control the culture and everything. But if nobody goes to their movies, no one watches the movies.
Yeah, because the joke was always that the zombies are the common people, the regular people, because it's another way of saying sheep. Really, it's a version of sheep. Because they're walking. Yeah, the walking corpses.
It's always insults for these people.
Yeah, I know, and it's all very funny, and you think, oh, ha, we're so smart, but then you see them, and they're just as thick. That's the most distressing part of it.
Don't create anything.
Yeah, I know,
They're mocking us, but they have not made something themselves.
They aren't creative, yeah, I know. And they feed off any creative person as well. Desperately try to. So I've outwitted them loads of ways. I spent 8 or 10 years working on a portfolio which mainly recycling old material forever and ever. So I've not actually got any finished products to show for it. It's just all basics and technicalities. It's quite funny. But I still seen bits.
Everything you do gets ripped off.
Yeah, I know, it's happened a bit anyway. Yeah, that's it. I mean, it's like my rough versions. Well, because what I'm saying, they're always rough, but it's like the buildings I've done, buildings I did for this medieval town city, we used in the end of the movie Pan's Labyrinth. Either that is just complete coincidence that they got the same sort of designs for all the buildings, but yeah, I think it was the same. I'm not bothered. It's whatever. But yeah, wouldn't be so stupid as to say thrash out an entire game, you know, and wait for somebody to pick it up, because I know somebody just take it off my computer, claim it's their own.
Well, see, in America that would be more ludicrous, but in England that's very, very much more likely.
It is quite usual.
They're so watching you.
Yeah. I know, it's usually scum stuff that's like the Rothschilds. Yeah. I know, because I did art at school. I mean, you know, I seem to be the only person that actually did any actual creative art, because the rest of them were all really weird. They'd come in like half-finished pieces of art, and they were the same with their homework and stuff, and their assignments. They always come in with stuff that's already been done, and they'd never... You get some person who's obviously got no talent whatsoever, who's like a total whack job, and he'd get really high marks, but he would never turn up. And he'd really like turn up for like 3 lessons a year. And yeah, it's obviously backhanders. But anyway, I did art, and I got an F, which is like the worst art you can get. And so I did a retake of it, and I could only get 2 grades, so I got a D by the end of it. So I went from being a fart to a dart. And for one of my projects, I did an A2 poster of basically sort of like a cyborg smoking a cigarette in front of a spacecraft, and I was just like ridiculously popular when I was doing it. I was all the time. It's always a hassle, like at school and stuff, with people just crowd around me. But I was doing this thing and just had maybe 200 people odd. I was working on it for maybe, I don't know, if I said 6 weeks, maybe that's a bit long. But it was a long time. It was a big project. Yeah, I suppose it was 6 weeks, 1 lesson a week of 2 hours or something. And yeah, maybe 200 people saw it. About half the school knew about it. And finally submitted the damn thing. It was all completed, and I was really pleased with it, and all rubbish. And of course, it went missing.
Well, see, they have this whole system in America about submitting your papers to these computers. In this
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they declare everyone a plagiarist.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a standard submission I submitted to the teacher, along with all the other stuff. And I also did some clay models, and of course they all got blown up in the kiln. Yeah.
So
Along with everything else. I know. It's so ridiculous. I know it's
before, but they also don't keep your broken object to show you.
No, there's no evidence. Yeah, it's just gone. Alright, I'm busy. I'm a busy man, you know? Yeah. Yeah, the other students, apart from you, you're not important. All the psychological reasons on it, and it was just like, yeah, that doesn't really work. Yeah, I know, some studying Rothschild or something's got it in their vaults or something. I was certain of it, because there was no way all these hundreds of people, and it's like what such scumbags people are. They were just like, oh, yeah. But I haven't seen a direct copy of it anywhere, but I know it's probably either hung up on somebody's wall, or it's like just somebody just swiped it and kept it for themselves. Somebody else swiped did an extra portfolio in a like black sort of like leather-bound book thing, and somebody came over especially to steal it. It was like some crappy woman spy, and so basically I got like half a blowjob, and then she like ran off with it. It was so crap. It's sort of like I knew that sort of thing was going to happen, but why did it has to be so crap? I mean, fucking hell. You know, if it was James Bond, at least he'd had proper sex, but this woman was just sloppy. Yeah, no, I know, but they were so bad at it.
Intellectual property for all.
Yeah.
There's a whole industry of that.
Yeah.
Of stealing it. Before it can reach market.
Yeah, I know. It was just ridiculous. It was like, you know, if it was something memorable, that one thing, but it was like, oh, what the hell was that supposed to be? And I went to the toilet, came back, and I found out later it had gone missing, and I was like, oh, okay. And that's why she brought a satchel with her then. You know, never saw her again. Yeah. I mean, it's only artwork. It's like I'm the creator of it, sort of thing. So I can always reproduce it That's the funny thing as well, because it goes beyond actual mortality as well. It's actually an immortal thing you can do. You know, the body doesn't matter. If you're a creator, if you can actually take stuff out of your mind and draw it and create it in some way, that's never going to go.
Have you seen that woman who created the Terminator and the Matrix?
Sophia Stewart, yeah, she's on my MySpace friends list. She's at the top, yeah. I don't know if I believe her, but yeah, I mean, I put there at the top.
I don't like the people that interview her. They always want to spin what she's saying. If you listen to what she's saying on her own,
Yeah.
without the spin,
Yeah.
it's not quite how it's presented.
Yeah, she's pretty intelligent and stuff. She's doing conferences now. She did an interview with John Allen Martinson.
That was a good interview.
That was it.
A couple other ones that I thought were just awful.
Was it?
It was kind of like seeing the old Martinson.
Yeah, that was. He did that shortly before we did that interview of him. Yeah, but I think he'd lost the plot then. Yeah, he'd started doing these stupid wacky video shoots. I think he'd suddenly become convinced that he was Neo or something.
Right, I think that was the motive, but he at least got a good interview out of her, but I think he had weird motives for doing it.
That's it. I think it was. Yeah. A lot of people get this like secret information about people, and then they just like goes to their head and they become total whack jobs.
I don't know why that's so important.
No.
You don't
It's like I was looking on that Superman 2. You know, when I was looking up General Zod.
Godfather movies?
No, Superman 2.
It
The
was written by Mario Puzo.
is it?
Yes.
Okay.
He only wrote like 4 things in his life. Godfather 1, Godfather 2, Superman 1, Superman 2.
Yeah, they're good movies.
And
I don't
there's
know.
There's some TV movie he was a part of, but, you know, I don't think he wrote that, the Christopher Columbus thing. But seriously, he wrote the Superman movies.
Cool.
So, you know,
They were good. 1, 2, and 3.
just one of
Good.
them.
Okay.
The third
Yeah.
one had Richard Pryor in it. It was great.
Yeah, it was. But I thought that was really good. The plot line, anyway.
Oh, I should find it.
Yeah, it's good. It's about the Great Beast, amongst other things. It's quite deep into the occult. The Great Beast is a supercomputer, but he builds a machine, yeah, and it's not supposed to work, but it's possessed by the spirit of Satan, or whatever you want to call it, you know, usual cliches. And that animates it and gives it life, sort of thing. It's because it's time to be on the Earth. There's quite a bit of meaning to it. He fights his shadow self as well. You know, the Superman with more eyeliner or whatever he was wearing, and flicks a peanut and breaks the windows. The evil Superman. And also there's the oil spillage as well. The evil shadow Superman spills the oil out the tanker, and then the goody Superman pours the oil back in. There's the straightening of the Tower of Pisa, and then the bending back of the Tower of Pisa. It's probably a reference to Cyrus. Yeah.
There's always this bizarre action.
There is. It's all, it's all quasi-religious and stuff, and it's like, oh, you know, we'll put a bit of Revelations in here, and we'll put a bit of something else from other book.
I really feel that I can make movies that don't have this in them.
Yeah, they have to rewrite the movies to put in the agenda. I know what you mean. Yeah, 'cause
Imagine the rest of us all making movies instead. Or,
Yeah.
you know, the rest of us, you know what I'm saying, instead of just one movie.
yeah, that has to be approved by the same sort of boards, doesn't it? And they will only approve. They'll only approve of movies that meet their agenda. Anyhow, Superman 2 was looking up General Zod. I wanted some quotes of his, and I found that what I was looking for, but I also found a bunch of whack jobs. They all looked like me, which was quite worrying. And there was one that was like me with a beard. So I go, who's that Rasputin? One day you had to bring Rasputin out of there, and they were doing General Zod impressions, but they were always doing it in Russian. And they were doing the sound. Yeah, they were speaking in Russian by the sounds of it. Yeah, because the rest of the clip was all in English and American, and they're making the sound effects of like the magic powers that General Zod doesn't have, sort of thing. So it's sort of like kind of strange little mind control freaks. I don't know.
It's from some Russian idiom that we don't know.
Well, Superman 2 can be...
The villain.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting to. Superman 2 can be interpreted. You've got the Trinity, well, one of the characters is called Trinity, and you've got Zod, and you've got the other guy, who's like, sort of like sleeping behemoth thing. But the American Superman can be seen as like the American Superman project from the Super Soldiers series. Because after the Second World War, particularly all the major nations had their own super soldier project. You had the Russians had their one through Stalin, because Stalin would apparently every week he'd broadcast to his children on TV, and so that's going to be children of the super soldier project. So basically, these people had their little projects and the super soldier one. So you got the Russian Superman, you got the American Superman. The Superman 2 was quite. If you ignore the justice scene at the beginning, it was basically about the Russians coming to America, kicking in the White House and demanding the surrender of the president. And they thought they were Supermen. They weren't literally flying through the air and stuff, but it's all sort of metaphorical. That's why I saw it. So it's basically Russian invasion of America via the Supermen, taking over the Supermen. And they disabled him as well in the second one, which was quite funny. Because he was like, he fell in love with Lois. The whole.
These are also Godfather stories. You have to realize too.
Are they?
The source for Michael was a real mafia story where they referred to the son all the time as Superman.
Yeah.
He was the one empowered, and like the older son was not empowered, Freeman. And then notice in the real Godfather movies when he marries Kay, they accept it, but that's a more socially acceptable Godfather. The real story is when he tries to marry a non-Italian. Notice his mother shows up even from the dead and takes his power away.
That's interesting. That sounds like Greek tragedy, though.
Yeah, it sounds like my life too.
Your dead mother tries to stop you doing things.
My life.
Yeah.
But no, that's he pulls Kay into the even though she's not dressed like everyone else in the real Godfather. But in this movie where they're telling more reality story, they had to couch it all as aliens and stuff. That's Superman 1.
Yeah.
Then you're right about that Superman 2. I really think that's a very astute analysis.
Yeah.
The Russians taking it.
Yeah, because I had been thinking about that, and it's can't be coincidence they got the Russians. You see, these Russians obviously figured it out as well. So it's like, oh, the Russians are really intelligent, but they're obviously under mind control when they're doing this as well because of stupid sound effects. General Zod doesn't make any sound effects at all.
Right.
He just sort of talks. He's a sadomasochistic icon, basically a sadomastic god. The woman represents justice. Yeah, she's a dominatrix and the symbol of justice. The stupid guy is probably based on Swerdlow, to be honest. Stuart Swerdlow. Yeah, the one with the beard. And he's your sort of like Punisher character. Sort of like your lowly demon, Satan, sort of general misfit thing. Sort of like really brutal, really strong, but really dense.
Like Dim from
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, sort of like your grunt, basically. Well, yeah, and all he does is grunt, really.
They even named him Dim.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it's 3:57. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, might as well.
So anyway, this is American Freeman, World Freeman Society. You've been hearing your host Maggot. I'm the president of the American chapter of the World Freeman Society. I'm Evstratios Constantine Brady, your responsible party. And tomorrow you'll hear Don, the Caribbean Critic, and everyone else. But we've been kind of treading water today.
Well, technical problems, yeah.
You can visit us at www.worldfreemansociety.org. The podcast is at, here's a tiny URL, tinyurl.com/WFS for World Freeman Society podcast, WFS podcast. Anything else?
Yeah.
Bob, stick it up to hear
Superman. Yeah, Superman 1, 2, and 3 were better than the Superman Returns
that. Oh, absolutely.
sequel thing. That was blatantly gay. I mean, I couldn't even watch it.
We always have to go back to the sources of these things. We always have to have Batman Begins again and again and again. Why?
Yeah. It's strange, isn't it? It's like they can't come up with any new ideas. They keep on like, the brainwashing didn't work. It didn't take this time. We'll have to try it again. Make him more gothic, more like the original.
With their new Superman, they still had to reference the old one. Why is that?
I just couldn't even watch it. He was just so blatantly gay.
You know, in that movie, they had to show clips.
Did they from the original series?
Yeah,
To the original movie?
Brando, even he's dead, he got paid again.
Oh, that sucks. It's really bad.
All right, well, let's pull us off the air.
Yeah, okay.
All right, well, let's pull us off the air.
Yeah, okay.
All right, well, let's pull us off the air.
Yeah, okay.
All right, well, let's pull us off the air.
Yeah, okay.
All right, well, let's pull us off the air.
Yeah, okay.
All right, well, let's pull us off the air.
Yeah, okay.
All right, well, let's pull us off the air.
Yeah, okay.
All right, well, let's pull us off the air.
Yeah, okay.
All right, well, let's pull us off the air.
Yeah, okay.
All right, well, let's pull us off the air.
Yeah, okay.
All right, well, let's pull us off the air.
Yeah, okay.
All right, well, let's pull us off the air.
Yeah, okay.
All right, well, let's pull us off the air.
Yeah, okay.
All right, well, let's pull us off the air.
Yeah, okay.
All right, well, let's pull us off the air.
Yeah, okay.
All right, well, let's pull us off the air.
Yeah, okay.
All right, well, let's pull us off the air.
Yeah, okay.
All right, well, let's pull us off the air.
Yeah.